Welcome back, my loyal subjects, to more Trails of Cold Steel 4. Feral Fiasco here, and last episode, we beat Zector, we beat Rutger, we sent him back to Gehenna. It was actually fairly touching. 3 days to Operation Jormungand, touring West Erebonia 5. Now the mood might be a little, Fee. She's got that resolve burning in her heart to become the new Jaeger King. I'm kidding, of course. She's definitely just gonna stick to being a bracer, but even so. Yeah. We're gonna free Aryan Road next. Thanks for waiting. How you feeling? Fee? Are you all right now? Yeah, I just cried it all out. If I kept it up any longer, the boss had never let me live it down. I see. I think that was all he really wanted, to be seen off by his beloved daughter, by family. The guy lived life on his own terms, not as some immortal awakener, but as a human being. Gotta say, he left on one hell of a high note. Crow. If you've gotta go, you may as well go out with a smile on your face, and that's exactly what he did. All we can do is smile back. Yeah, I'm sure Zeno and Leonidas would say the same. Yeah.
Well, since you've taken on the power of the boss's knight, it only makes sense for us to help you out.
Oh, we've got Zephyr backing us now.
Final battle's getting real close. We got a lot of getting ready to do before then.
We'll meet again, Fee. Schwarzer, and the rest of you. Just make sure you survive till then.
Oh, you can count on that. The end of a legend, and the beginning of a new Zephyr. We know just how powerful they are. Having them on our side is reassuring. We'll have to show them that we're no pushovers either. That's right, and we can start by overcoming this next trial, no matter how stacked the odds. Right, it's time to head to Crossbell at last. The place of my lord's rivalry. Yeah, you're going to have to bid Aryan Road farewell, dude. There's no other way. Toval, I know this won't be easy for you. I don't need you to worry about me. The Jaeger King showed us his resolve, so it's only fair I do the same. I will do all that I can to persuade my lord to stay with us after the rivalry. The battle itself is another matter. I don't believe my lord would look kindly upon such unnecessary consideration. We're gonna have to make sure our EX orbs are properly upgraded, dude, because that fight would have been a lot less difficult if we weren't still stuck with the two versions. I believe you're right about that. It appears that her objective is to protect the future of the Empire. Right. Our goals actually align in a certain sense, so there's probably some hope there. Well, if we can't demonstrate our ability to get past this, then it's all moot anyway. Valimar's new evolution, thanks to the Palatinate Knight's power, is going to be a big help. Right, the power he received from the Jaeger King. We owe it to him to make the most of it. That we do. Next on our agenda, Crossbell. It seems our team has an update for us. So who's up next? Oh, the Bracers, Agate, Shira, and Toval as well.
Hey there, everyone.
We heard about the Jaeger King.
Good work. Must have been tough.
Mainly because of our own lack of prep. Yeah, thanks. So, how are things going in Crossbell?
Right. There's been some movement that's caught our attention. Where it is, there's a giant pillar of light shooting right out of the wetlands.
Sounds like it's the wetlands that we're gonna need to head to then. That's near St. Ursula. You mean the same phenomenon as what happened at the Draco Shrine? Right. I think that only the sanctuary has been moved, like before. There are also eyewitness accounts stating they saw a shining knight fly off in that direction. Which means there's no doubt she'll be waiting there for you. Ouroboros' strongest, the Steel Maiden. Her and Argreon. My lord, the time's finally come. And no barrier or similar device has appeared? Right. It seems that the only experimental Gargantua-class battleship was the one we encountered yesterday. Thank you, Bracers. We know you're busy and appreciate you taking the time to contact us. Hey, it was no big deal. Security seems to be light right now, so we're about to head over to confirm things ourselves. Watch your back, okay, Olivier? And make sure you get them there. You got it. You be careful too. Until we meet again, Shara. So, Crossbell, huh? The area's on the brink of turning into a battleground once the war begins. Yes, it looks like the invasion of Calvard will begin from Tangram Fortress on the east side. And right before that, we face the biggest hurdle of the war's shadowy underbelly, beating Aryan Road? In any case, we need to prepare ourselves to the maximum extent possible. Right, to stop the Great Twilight and to somehow stop the war. I kindly request that you allow me to join the fight starting today. Okay, so she will join us. Nice! Please call on me without hesitation if such a need arises. We'll be counting on you. Your wound is only just healed though. I don't want you overexerting yourself. Sure, but we could really use her abilities in battle. Let's get this party started, kittens. Considering the circumstances, I'd like to depart for Crossbell as soon as possible. However, a number of orders have also arrived, so please do give them a once-over when you have a moment. In the meantime, I'll map out a safe route to Crossbell. It's looking like this will be our last foray into the western half of Erebonia for a while, so make sure you don't leave anything undone. Right. Alright, Reen, time to get on one of our Estelle walkabouts. So, Crossbell, huh? Yuna and the others infiltrated at once, right? I admit I'm worried about the city, seeing as they have a war brewing right on their doorstep. Reen, what do you guys want? Until we make our way to Crossbell, if you make any more runs to the surface, we'd like to join you. Do they have orders? Your Highness, and Elise, I'm not so sure that's... There is still a lot happening in Western Erebonia, and as Toa's representatives, there are matters that we must attend to. We have no intention of taking points, of course, but we can help out with our orders and anything else you might need. We did receive my brother's full approval for the record. Tagging along would also allow me to see the current state of the Empire. I'd really appreciate the escort. You two have really grown up. Alright, fine. But don't overdo it out there. You got it! Alright, so we will... Of course we gotta bring Sharon. Then you... and you. Our party seems pretty set. Yeah. The situation at Titus Gate and each of the field exercise campsites has changed. You can now explore Langdock Canyon north. Elise and Alphen will be accompanying you. As with Toa, they won't participate in direct combat, but they'll provide powerful orders to support you and your party. New weapons and armor can now be purchased in all areas. Received bonding points. Added fee 3. Crossbell. It's been a while. If the circumstances were different, I'd have loved to perform here again. You must be pretty fond of this place, Your Highness. I still remember that time 2 years ago when you charged into that jazz bar and started playing the piano. I can imagine you doing something like that. What can I say? Life's nothing without a little passion. Speaking of piano, there was that time I played in the restaurant in Bose, too. Bose? Why do I feel like there was a... Bose? When I think of Bose, I don't know why B-O-S-E comes to mind. That's definitely a different... If they're talking about Crossbell and there was some place named Bose, then it's definitely been it's got a new localization. I got thrown in jail afterward, but hey, looking back on it now, it was a fun time. I think Tita told us that story. You sure have a talent for getting into trouble. Wait, he's not talking about Crossbell. He's talking about... Liberal? Wow. Why'd they go back and change it? Why'd they change Bose's spelling? Okay. Tell me about it. Dang, dude, they're zeking up all over the place. Crossbell's up next, huh? I hear Zin's operating in Altair these days. Altair's about as west as you can get in Crossbell. Not too far off from Tangram Gate. I thought Altair City was in Calvard. If not for the border being what it is, I'd love to go say hi. Oh! Jellica would know Zin, wouldn't she? Did you guys say Zin? And Reen knows him too? As in, Zin the Immovable? From the Taito School? Right, because he's a martial arts nerd. Yep, that's our Zin. I'm guessing your old master told you about him? Yes, and more recently I heard he helped out during the Orbital shutdown in Liberl. He's supposedly a master of Taito martial arts, and one of the most powerful bracers out there. That's right, he's even stronger than other A-rankers like me and Agate and Shara. The last I heard, he was working with Estelle and the others over on the Calvard side of the border. With things the way they are, I doubt he'd be able to enter Erebonia anytime soon. So they're like, don't get your hopes up for seeing him. Obviously. Even A-rank bracers can't move around with complete impunity after all. But just the fact that we have allies we can count in the Republic is something to be grateful for. Yeah, there's that. What are you up to, Gustav? Maintenance? Yeah, the military finance guys and gals have plenty on their plates, so I thought I'd take care of that for them. Besides, I might get put in charge of the artillery. You never know. I figure I may as well tool around with the equipment and make some tweaks now. Sounds like a good use of your time. Huh, you may be in combat tactics, but Gustav really lights up when it comes to tasks like this. He's a natural. Oh, we got his second thing. Alright, let's look at these requests. Monster Eid Vanis. Alright. I was originally supposed to tackle this request, but my plates kinda overflow, but my plate kinda overflow at the moment. You guys think you can check it out for me? All I know is that Kai and Tilly are having some trouble with an especially ornery monster over towards Ulster. I'm sure they'd be happy to see you again anyhow. Alright. So there's only 2 things we gotta take care of, but there is one other battle. Okay, so we can hang out with her, but we're not gonna do so just yet. We can go back to Trial Chest 22. Oh, wow. There are tons of gaps here. Uh-oh. God dang. I thought I was being fairly thorough, but clearly not. Alright. And we can just hang out with Duvali and Ash and their ilk. How many bonding points do we even have? 5. Okay. Oh, he's got a request? It's not looking easy for both of them. I just hope they can work together well. Something bothering you, Stark? Who's he talking about? Oh, greetings, Instructor Reen. Well, Sydney and Kyrie are currently on the surface to help the main campus. I'm not sure I follow. What kind of help are you talking about here? The issue is that the Dareflinger's medicinal stock has been depleted to the point where it's no longer enough. We were asked if we could lend any of ours, but we don't really have that flexibility, you see. But Kyrie said that he can produce some for us as long as we can find the necessary ingredients. Ah, I see. He's amazing with that kind of stuff. Yeah, he really is. So it looks like he needs 2 different ingredients to do it. Alright, well, we'd be happy to find them for him. We have the Dareflinger hiding out by what's left of the Sutherland Field exercise camp. According to Kyrie, if we head over to the main road on the camp's outskirts, we should be able to acquire both. Sydney happened to be around, so we got dragged along. They've gone down together to each look for an ingredient. When the main campus heard about the situation, Fritz and Ada both offered to pitch in. Those two are always good help to have. Definitely, but the search doesn't seem to be going well. It might not be appropriate for me to say, but I'm also concerned about the pairs. Kyrie and Fritz are working together, and Sydney and Ada make up the other team, but... I see. They've definitely never seen experience in the field with their current partner. Right, so I guess all we can do is wait for the good news, right? I suppose they'll contact us if they need any kind of backup or assistance. True. No reason to not proactively offer our help, though, right? I'm not so sure about that, Stark. Something feels a little off to me, so I think I'll lend them a hand. Oh, would you? That would certainly be a huge help. Definitely. I don't mind at all. I'm free right now, anyway. Where are they searching right now? Kyrie's on the Hommel Ruined Road, and Sydney is on Parm Byroad. Thanks again, Instructor. I'll get in touch with both teams as a precaution. Alright, so we got that set. Very nice. We can leave Duvali to her own devices at the moment. Elise, you're taking a break by yourself? Yes, the operations are done for the moment. I just have a little bit of work left. Work? Yes. Actually, it has something to do with you. I'll be able to tell you about it soon. Oh. I'm curious, but I'll leave it for now. Just don't push yourself too hard. So Elise is working on something? Ooh, what does Gaius have for us? What? Interesting. Pretty good, right? This is my latest recipe, blue cheese soup. I reduced it a whole lot to really bring out the ingredients' essential flavors. Well, listen, I've got nothing against blue cheese in itself, but getting it in such a concentrated form is a little overwhelming. It packs a real punch, that's for sure. I knew you guys would like it. It took a lot of work, but knowing it measures up to Class 7's high standards makes that all worth it. Okay, that is absolutely not what I said. I'm getting some serious deja vu here. Alright, so what's going on with you? Since I've gained a taste for alcohol, I've started to like blue cheese to an extent too. But even then, this soup... 2 mics? Fermented foods are a big part of Nord cuisine, but I've never encountered anything with a smell this pungent. Still, you can't knock it until you try it. I'll just have to let my taste buds be the judge over my nose. On another note, I've been meaning to ask, do you play Palm Party, Reen? We do, Gaius. We do indeed! Yeah, don't tell me you do too. I wouldn't expect you to be the type to get into that sort of thing. Yeah. Well, it caught my eye while I was toying around with the Orbital computer on the Merkaba. Care to play a round or two with me when you get some spare time? Sure, that'd be fun. Alright. So Gaius I was not expecting to play against, but alright. Let's go ahead and get him seen to.
Go easy on me.
No friggin' way, dude. We got a blue we can put right there. A red. One green. A yellow. Oh, and we got some blues for our troubles. Most excellent. Oh, put these right here. Those. Ooh, there we go, just in time. How he's already built up 4, I don't friggin' know. Alright, we just have to do a little bit of that action. That got rid of the blues we were planning on using. Oh, crap. Okay, reds. We'll wait for our kill shot. Our power move. Once his center slot is all used up. Oh. Okay, we can't have any more. Alright, that's fine. We've hit the max. Are you serious? How's he still alive? I'm not sure that's entirely fair. Oh, crap.
I had the wind at my back.
You guys saw that, right? He should have been dead. Okay, whatever. If Gaius can friggin' cheat,
On me.
I'm not sure how exactly that was fair, but okay. We'll just have to try it again. Fight our way up to 9. Oh, I effed that all the way up. Put this right here. I need to rewatch this because I'm not sure how he's already got so many points over us. Friggin' crazy. Alright, drop this in our center slot. Alright, not worried about that whatsoever. And then drop the red right here. Yeah, see, getting hit with those is not a death sentence. I'm actually not all that worried about it. See how you like this.
Well played.
Okay, cool. He should have died the last time when we hit him with the 9er. But, oh well. Not sure how you managed to swing that one, Gaius, but more power to you. Teach us how to get them cheats going in our orbal gear, or not orbal gear, but in our orbment. Now we definitely already have both of theirs. Duvali and I guess Alphen and Elise and Sharon.
This is nice.
Sharon, Elise, Alphen. Yeah. Oh, we've got another request that we can undertake. Whoa, what's going on with these guys? 104 Military Combat Maneuver 22. Plunging Slice. How am I supposed to improve this attack? And this isn't the only one giving me trouble. Why the hell is it so difficult? Like I've said a million times, you're overthinking things, Wayne. It's not just recreating how a move looks from the outside. You need to grasp the logic behind it. Not that I'm in a position to offer much advice. Jessica, Wayne, hey, getting a bit of training in? Instructor Reen. We are in a certain sense. I've asked Jessica to observe me right now. Even though I know she wants to focus on her own training, I'm sorry, Jessica, I'm being selfish. Oh, I don't mind at all. In fact, observing your movements is good for my own training. It gives me another approach. I'm sorry I can't offer better advice. The Schleiden School does have its share of fencing techniques, but overall, it's primarily focused on spears. Any help or advice I share just ends up being more conceptual than anything concrete. No, it's incredibly helpful. It's proving to be a good reference for my improvement. With the way things are for me right now, it's not so much who's giving me instruction or advice. It's a battle with myself. I must overcome my limits. I won't keep you any longer, Jessica. You really should focus on your own training. I appreciate all the help. And you don't need to worry about me, Instructor Reen. I promise. Wayne. He does make some good points. But I would like to tie in Jessica's development too, seeing as she's here and all. So, are we going to take him on with both Wayne and Jessica, like we fought him with just Jessica previously? Maybe I should call the girls in then? Alright, so I have an interesting proposal for the two of you. In the end, there's no better form of training than sparring. So if we could find a way to make your training more meaningful, just leave it up to me. Can I get you two to wait here for a moment? Instructor Reen? Is he? Persistent study. Alright. By girls, does he mean Altina, Yuna? No. Okay, well, I guess they are swords masters. How the hell did I wind up here? You grumble, Toval, but you were kind enough to help out in the end, were you not? I just thought it would be good to get some exercise in. I'm just here for my benefit, that's all. Instructor Reen, what? Laura S. Arcade and Toval the Swift. Does this mean that you're going to have us spar? You got it. You and Wayne are going to fight as a team. That's, I'll finally have the honor of seeing your sliding school techniques from up close, Jessica. I wonder if they're cousins too, if hair color is any indication. One of my dreams have come true thanks to you agreeing to be involved. But what's with this arrangement, Instructor Reen? Your 104 military combat fencing techniques adopt the forms of the Arcade and Vander schools, or styles. And Toval's sword technique, the basics of which she learned from the Steel Maiden, shares many points in common with the Arcade style. You'll find much more to learn from them in my 8 Leaves, 1 Blade style. And the same can be said for Jessica's Schleiden school techniques, of course. Yes, that's exactly right. That makes sense. So this is probably the ideal type of training for us. It seems like a real challenge, but that just means that it's truly worth doing. Huh. Let's get started. I won't be going easy on either of you. Nor I. I want to see both of you reach new heights. It'll be the groundwork for your future development. Yes, ma'am! Understood.
Now draw your weapons!
Show us the strength that dwells within you.
Do they even have? Holy crap!
Strike!
An opening!
Opened up with that. Alright, no items, so we can't take a look at what they're... let's go ahead and do this.
Got you!
Yeah, see, that's abusable. Toval the Swift, level 132. Extraordinary warrior and ex-member of the Stallritter, fighting alongside Laura. He's not weak to anything in particular. Laura, level 132. Despite having attained mastery, she still gives training her all. Agreed to help with sparring. She's not weak to anything in particular. Now what has he got? Exquisite and Leaked Felsen. Unbalanced was 20%. Oh! Let's go for it.
I'll withstand anything! Ha!
Nope. Yep. And she can just keep cold nailing.
Got you!
Okay, cool. We got that. And he needs it. Got him. Nice. Let's go for the Exquisite. We got the burn off on one of them. Glacial brand. At least we're not getting frozen.
Or mine!
Okay.
Or
We might have to do some... Whoa, he's got a ton of... Okay, let's do... Dang, we're too far away.
there!
Alright, now what does she have? Let's do... Shining. See if we can make this work for us. His orbment is set up... I kind of wish I could see what his orbment is set up like. Uh-oh.
Strike! Assisting!
Uh-oh.
Understood.
No!
Or mine!
Probably should have opened up with, Well, we've got a Thalos. Dang. That probably is gonna affect us. How much AP we get from this.
Take this!
At least he's dodging them like a champ. Alright, and then... let's up our defense. And she can... What's Shining again? Alright, so this is going to be the best thing for us, I think. And then we're going to have Wayne heal. Oh, crap. He's getting them, though. He's striking back. Oh, crap.
An opening!
Alright, Wayne. Heal us, dude. We need it. And then she can Cold Nail, which is really cheap for what it does. Cool. Finally, some backup. I probably should have just rushed. We'll rush next time, though. What's she charging up for? Blade Lord Spectre. Alright, this is gonna hurt. Nice! Never mind. So she's got Dunamis on equipped. Okay. Let's go ahead and go for a Toval. And then you can La Forte. Yeah, she's got to have her defense upped again. Oh crap.
Now!
At least he's okay. His vengeance is definitely helping us out.
Gotcha.
She's staying plenty healthy. Piercing Blitz. But Piercing Blitz can't unbalance.
Gotcha.
100% not about to do that. Nice. And since we can do this for free, 100% chance to blind. Don't mind if we do. She's blinded too. Nice. Alright, okay, let's have him support a little bit. Nope. The only thing that sucks is that he won't retaliate. Duvali's about to go down, so...
Gotcha.
Another one of these.
Let's go, Wayne.
Dynamic duo. Alright. Crap, come on, Wayne. But that's okay, because we set them up for the nice Cold Nail. And then he can... let's have him Exquisite her. Once we can get Duvali out of here, dude, we'll be basically good to go. And if we only get 1 AP, we'll know that letting her get got was the wrong thing. Oh, and they're both set up for an exquisite. Now, if we could unbalance them. Okay, Duvalie's. Oh, well.
The soul of our sage.
We're still defense up at least. But if Duvalie does it too, we're screwed.
Radiant Phoenix Blade.
Okay, cool.
Or mine!
Impressively done.
Oh, thankfully did not have to deal with any nonsense. All right, let's go ahead and get the shining going. Then he can Holy Breath. Okay, cool. I was like, if Laura got healed at this stage in the game, that would have sucked. Her strength is still down. But you don't need strength when you've got utility.
Got you.
Okay, well, Exquisite has that additional 20% unbalance chance, but I mean, it'd be nice if that could actually happen for us for once.
Got you.
God dang. Yeah, Wayne's not doing anything else with his CP, so might as well keep going in. Yeah. Nice, finally.
Well done. I'm impressed.
The 7K on that. Did it say AB conditions met? I wasn't looking at the thing. That's enough. I think we just about made it. Right, but we were at our limits there. You both kept up marvelously. I suppose you can say that. That was pretty brilliant, you two. I hope you both feel like you got a lot out of this. I did. This was a great help. It was nice being able to identify areas that need improvement. I knew you'd do well with it, Jessica. I must say, the stiffness I felt before the match has completely disappeared. Yeah, I could tell just by watching. It looks like you unconsciously absorbed Laura and Duvalie's techniques, and even Jessica's too. In any case, it looks like repetitive training might actually be a counterproductive approach for you. I understand the struggle. Learning to let the tension fade from your shoulders is actually quite difficult. Sometimes you simply must swing recklessly, without giving much thought to anything in particular. Thank you, Laura. I'll keep that in mind. You also need to rely on those around you. Take a look around and you'll find yourself surrounded by many capable warriors. It'd be a crime not to seek their advice. Huh, yeah. What are you looking at? Don't give me that look who's talking face. I was thinking the opposite, actually. Agreed. I was just thinking that you've changed quite a bit. I don't know what you're talking about. But it's a bit cute, too. Yes, I agree. Anyhow, you've both given me some invaluable experience here. Thank you. Zeus Gem, AK Mira. Cool, and we got the AP increased by 2. Oh. Okay, and we can take on the level 2s now. Magic attacks. Alright. Not going to be a problem. Maybe.
A worthy opponent.
We did bring Laura. Oh, crap. We probably should have critted. Oh, well. So there are 3 of them this time, too. Very intriguing.
I'll treat you. I can manage without your help.
Ooh.
Let's go.
Alright, so first things first. Oh, we don't even know anything about them.
Yeah.
Well, we know that they probably won't like this 7th caliber, so... Not that Reen's magic attack is all that great, but... Okay, well, still serviceable. Crap.
I'll handle this.
Let's... Ooh, plus 20% evade for... Whoa, that's actually really good.
Blossom! Dancing petals!
My turn.
Alright. It doesn't really help us strength-wise, but...
Hold. The
We're not
soul
gonna
of
give up
our
this
shade.
crit.
Now.
Go ahead and show them what for, Laura. Hopefully this isn't the lame version that she used against the students. Nope. Full force.
Unforgivable.
And she's almost ready to do it again.
Very well.
Let's have you 7th caliber as well. Hold on. Let's actually investigate a little bit.
Yeah.
She'll only be able to do 7th caliber the one time. Sleipnir F2-1, level 130. An archaism built to resist physical attacks. Vulnerable only to abnormal conditions and arts. It's weak to earth, water, fire, wind, time, space, and mirage.
Ouch! Yes.
Okay, a little too far away. But we can
Here I go.
galleon for it.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's weaker to fire, so one flare
Marcus,
butterfly.
activate.
Here I go.
And Earth is 140. Alright, well, if we're gonna do it for only 140
Marcus,
efficacy, we
activate.
might as well go for this. The stun gun we're not worried about. I actually don't really know how Sharon's... We'll see. We'll see if it's good or not. Okay, well, it's okay-ish. Worse than Reen's, though. That much is certain. Shield bash. Crap.
Take this. It's
Alright,
down.
so that's pretty good, though.
An opening. Let's go.
Let's go for... Yeah, let's hit him with one of
As your
these.
favor.
Awesome.
It's off
And then
balance.
everybody can get some.
Got it. Shit.
A little bit of this action.
The soul of our sage.
Just have Laura keep going in again and again. Too much power for him.
Radiant Phoenix Blade.
We almost got one of them. Actually, that freeze condition should take care of it. Man, Toval probably doesn't have a cast anything, doesn't have an action anything. No bells to half the cost of her arts, or half the time of her arts, the delay. Alright,
my
that's
turn.
2 of them done. Let's try for that waning crescent slash.
Cut through.
Crap.
Here I
At
go.
least we resist that, though. Yeah, we'll just be able to beat the brakes off this thing.
Let's go.
Just strike and strike and strike.
Leave this to me. Let's be off, everyone.
Oh, nice. Oh, less nice. Yeah. The EX
I must
versions are
continue to
completely
train.
useless to us. That was phenomenal, everyone. You were able to take down a level 2 type 1, so you do have some skills after all. At any rate, here are your rewards. Thanks, Toval. Remain diligent in your training. And in any case, you've yet to experience what really makes the Sleipnir special. And we can get a little more of that after we talk to her again. Versus type 2. Yeah. Physical attacks are completely fine, and that's how we like to fight.
This one's strong. Be careful.
Alright, yeah, she is already almost dead.
Without your help.
It's my turn.
Alright, so first things first, let's issue
Let's
some
go.
Raging Fire.
Raging fire formation. I'm up.
Then we'll take a look and see what makes these things tick, and Rena's immediately going to go, well, let's have her do it. Sleipnir F2 2, level 130. An archaism built to resist arts and abnormal conditions, vulnerable to physical attacks. It's weak to water.
I am bound by my chains no longer. I'm sorry. Your fate is now sealed. You cannot escape death's embrace.
Got him.
Let's go.
Let's go for the, if this can, oh wow, we can only get 2 of them at most. And it's not all
Here I
that
go.
accurate. Okay, let's go for some shining.
Let's go.
And Reen can, let's heal up. Golden Nord Chai, yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna have Duvali.
Delectable.
Yeah. Uh-oh! The seal! These fiends! Alright. Go ahead and show them what for. And then Laura's gonna be just in time for that HP heal, which is perfect. We're probably gonna have to have her forte or something. Won't be able to do much else due to the fact that she's sealed. Crap.
I'm up.
Alright, let's Mandrake Super before she friggin' dies. We should have checked to see what she's equipped with.
Yeah.
Because the answer is probably going to be nothing.
Thank you.
She's taking way too much friggin' damage.
Let's go.
First, let's issue CP plus 50 and plus 50% of 8, but it costs 5. Sure, we can still do Avalon Hearts.
Avalon Hearts.
It's my turn.
It is your turn to heal her. Get Laura back in the fray. Do what she's meant to do. I went for Reen, didn't I? Yep, effed that up.
My
Oh, well.
mind is clear. My
If we want
blade
those
empty.
5, if we want those 5 BP, then we
Now.
can't do anything. Oh well. That was my mess up. How hard can it be to press the correct button on the D-pad? Fairly difficult, apparently. Fairly difficult. And she is bound again.
An opening.
Oh, or not?
turn.
All right, well. Let's have her. She's at 200. But she's not going to be able to attack because then that's going to push one of these things. All right.
An opening.
Nice. Get him, Laura. And then also show them what you're made of with one of
Soul of
these.
Arcade.
The
Now.
strength up, the plus 60% damage. The HP heal, though that's less important than what we're putting down right now.
Radiant Phoenix Blade.
It's my turn.
Just about. We can Silver
Here I
Thorn
go.
them. We still have that plus 60% damage. That's something good, right?
It's
Nice.
my turn.
And she gets to go again immediately. This time, let's, yeah, run an attack.
Let's be off, everyone.
And a new level for Duvali.
Diligence is its own reward.
Do we get some more Thor's Unity rating? Awesome. That's all surmounted, and let's drop a save because I was really worried we were going to have to do all that over again. But nope, we're good to go. Alright, that's actually everybody on this level. Next up down here, which is more populated. See what's shaking with everyone down here. Instructor Reen, were you eavesdropping on our girly conversation? You naughty man. Hey, I was just passing by. Don't get any weird ideas. I can pretty much imagine what kind of conversation this is anyway. The idea of Reen imagining our conversations is a joy in and of itself. She's so horny, dude. Oh my god. I would certainly like to hear exactly what it is you think we're talking about. In explicit detail, if you please. I didn't mean I was thinking of anything specific, just a general impression. Well, alright, they want to hang out. So we're going to talk to... Oh! You two look like you're discussing something important. Oh, hey, Reen. We were just talking about a fan letter I got from a patient at St. Ursula's. I told you about her before, remember? The little girl who loves the radio dramas? Oh, that's right. You mentioned that she'd been in the hospital for a long time now. It's not Shizuku, is it? Come to think of it, I think Monk might have mentioned her letters too. Yes, that's her. Her name's Nina. Yeah, okay, it's not Shizuku. Well, Nina enjoyed last week's episode so much that she wanted to write it and tell the station how much she enjoyed it. Getting direct feedback from fans like this is the greatest joy a director can experience. It's so heartwarming, so humbling. It must be hard being stuck in the hospital though, especially as a kid. I know, maybe I can write back and let her know that I'm rooting for her. Really? That would be wonderful! I know she'd be thrilled to hear from you. Thank you so much, Monk. Don't mention it. Besides, it'll also give me the chance to tell her all about the special episode we've got coming up. There it is. I'm a little mortified at the idea she might hear me on the radio, but if it'll make her feel better... Don't worry, Reen, it's just one little letter. Besides, everyone's gonna be tuning in anyway once our promos start ramping up. Yep, I'm ready to crawl into a hole and die now. Everybody else is hanging out on the other side of the ship. Let's see what we got going on here. Ooh, Sharon wants to play us. Okay. So Leonora's headed to Ortis then? Yes, she's going to the Sailor's Tavern. She sees Miranda, the woman who runs it, as something of a mother figure. Leonora was worried she wouldn't be able to visit her after the war starts. Good for her. I know I'm not one to talk, but do you get along with your parents, Valerie? You probably still have time to make an appearance in Northumbria if you'd like. I don't think so. Things are pretty bad out there right now. I wouldn't want to risk it. Besides, my parents are a lot like me. We're not a terribly emotional family. As long as we can hear each other's voices over a comm line, that's good enough for us. I see. For someone who claims to be unemotional, you really care a lot about how others are feeling. So while your parents may seem nonplussed on the surface, I'm sure they're thinking about you all the time. Well, maybe. I think Maya's exactly right. Well, look at this. All of Class 7 swordsmen together in one place. And purely by coincidence. Although once we were here, the conversation naturally started to gravitate towards swordsmanship. We were just discussing who we all look up to the most, whose level we aspire to reach someday. Rufus, Mueller, and Arianrode. Instructor Reen, is there anyone from your school that you admire like that? Probably either Cassius or Arios. Come to think of it, I've never asked you that myself. I imagine you've got no shortage of skilled 8 Leaves practitioners. Or he wants to be more like, Annalise. Oh my gosh, I was having Annalise. I was having so much trouble remembering her friggin' name. Even I know of some of them. We met Cassius Bright not too long ago. And there's also Arios McLean, the Divine Blade of Wind. True, even if Cassius has hung up his sword, so to speak, there's no denying both of them are the kind of swordsman I can only dream of matching up to someday. The thing is, Cassius has mastered the first form, and Arios is a master of the second. They're pretty different from my 7th form. In that sense, Master Kafai is the only person I can truly aspire to match. I see. That makes sense. The Arcade and Vanderstyles both have a lot of variation within their different forms. Though I get the feeling it's even more pronounced in the 8 Leaves school. I must agree, really. After all, aside from the 7 forms Reen spoke of, there's even an unarmed combat form. I hate to flatter my own school, but it is a very adaptive discipline. I wonder if unarmed 8 Leaves 1 blade can hold a candle to Taito. I know, right? My editor told me I can only do the project I wanted if I got a few other articles done first. I've got most of them done now, but I'm still trying to find the right subject for the last one. I need something easy, simple, relaxing. It sounds to me like you need a break. But one more article doesn't sound quite so bad. In fact, simply take a step back and open your eyes wide. The perfect subject for a beautiful, uplifting article is right here in front of you. You're right! Of course she's right, dude. What do you mean? Margarita is the best. I'll do a feature on the most slimming styles this season. It'll be perfect for hooking new readers with an interest in fashion. Oh, well, I was serious at least. That's what you're going with? Oh well, it's your loss. There's so much wrong with this picture, but at least Vivi's got her article. No new peculiar dishes, but we'll have something for you soon. I actually heard a bit from Celestin when we were in the dorm. In addition to having gorgeous looks and ferocious combat abilities, Sharon is a more than competent chef. Huh, it's fate that brought us together to the galley. So if anyone has any recipe recommendations, I'd love to hear them. You're always so good about learning new things, Sandy. And then you. You know, Sharon, knowing you're in the galley always puts me incredibly at ease. It's a true honor to hear that. Oh, this makes me think back to those times in the Trista dormitory. It's already been about 2 years since then, hasn't it? That sounds about right. Time really does fly, doesn't it? You know, you really did a lot for me when I was a student. You were even a blade master at the school festival. That is indeed a fond memory of mine. Though it seems like Blade has been overtaken by Vantage Masters lately. Yeah, I guess so. You always did have your finger on the pulse, Sharon. Although I only started playing myself recently, I've brushed up on the fundamentals at the least. Would you care for a round or two, Master Reen? You said you brushed up on the fundamentals, but I get the feeling you'll be a tough opponent regardless. If that's the case, I'd love to play together sometime. I very much look forward to it. Alright, Sharon. Time for you to go down. Yeah, let's go with deck 3. She's also using Shadow.
I will gladly be your opponent.
She knows a high tier when she sees it. Yeah, this is a pretty good opening hand. And we got a crystal to start with. Tarancel, alright. Gonna have to kill that to start with, but that's fine. A little bit of this action. And a little bit of this action. Then make that cheaper. And now we've got a turn 1 Emultimus. Kill you. And then do a little bit to you. She should actually be fairly easy to take down. We've been playing against opponents with way more HP than ours for a while now. Ooh. Alright. Can't begrudge her that. Pretty good use of strategy right there. We actually should be able to take her down this turn. Yeah. Wow. That did not go well for you, Sharon.
I humbly accept my defeat.
That's the fastest victory we've had all game. I don't even know what a Mogorb is because she never got a chance to use it. Mogorb seals an enemy's actions for 2 turns. That's pretty good, but not good enough for us to throw into our deck. And then we're up first. Nice. Reduce and Emultimus. We didn't shuffle our deck very well, did we? Alright. A little bit of this action. A little bit of that action. Your turn. A Paransel. Oh! She's got it set up like how we did. That's not good. Sure, let's go with the Emultimus. Kill the crap out of you. Then get to attacking you. And then we'll be able to do more big damage next turn. Unless she drops a Fife Null. Hopefully she doesn't do that. Okay. She should have prioritized the Emultimus, but whatever. You play your strategy out. Alright. Let's actually do this. Yeah, gotta keep her healthy. Sure, do this. Then this. And it's gonna be our victory. Oh, we should have blazed! Oh well. We're definitely gonna win next turn, so. You better summon something good. Another Paransel. Alright, well, she got rid of our Regna Crochet, but that's okay. Because we can just do... Actually, have Fife Null join the fight. And then get to murdering. Took us twice as long, but... Yeah.
I humbly accept my defeat.
More U material. She didn't stand a chance. Without the free additional HP. Becky and Toa. Is everything alright? Everything's fine, Reen. I'm just looking into a little something for Becky at the moment. I wanted to get a read on what Kleist and Co are up to. My options are a wee bit limited up here in the air, and I figured Toa might have better luck with. Can I say anything good about what we learned, though? Right. Hugo's company has been rapidly expanding their distribution network and gotten involved in munitions shipping. And with that unprecedented growth has come a deluge of scandals and complaints about how they do business. Yeah, because they still have Shady McGee on deck. It even sounds like some of their employees are getting a bit out of control. Yeah, we've seen it firsthand. I've heard rumors. Whoa, her rumors even has a U in it. I think we've seen that before, but hey, she's got those rumor. She's got the rumors. Sounds like it's getting worse and worse every day. Cheers for the help, Toa. I'm gonna try and analyze this data and see what I can learn. But she still spells analyze with a Z. Sure, I'm here if you need any more help. And let me know if you come up with any leads. You're not the only one who's worried about Hugo. Cheers, Reen. I'll do that. Or maybe she's Canadian. I feel like Canada is the only place where you'd find someone who, like, puts a U in their words that don't really need U's, but then also uses Z's instead of S's. Listen up, Cerberus. This is gonna be the ultimate test of your skills. Yeah, that's the spirit I'm looking for. Now strap on your parachute and let's get this thing done. Parachute? Your destination will be... Huh, where to this time? Hadn't thought that far ahead. I'm afraid to ask why you've strapped a parachute to a dog. Huh? Why? I can't just throw him out of the airship without one. Well, as long as he's happy, I suppose I won't stop you.
I got some good stuff.
She does have the good stuff.
Come on, I got some good stuff.
We can make Dino Fill, but what we really need is a friggin' Earth Talisman. Alright.
Come on, I got some good stuff.
Ooh. But we've got new weapons, though. One for you. One for Laura. We'll give the General's coat to her. An additional 200 defense. That's not too bad. And we do have to exchange, though. Alright. Sure. Let's give you an advanced jacket as well. Uh-oh. I think I just spent money on inferior items. Oh well. That's on me. As per usual, for not paying attention like I should be. Yuna's arts attack will go down, yeah, but... I'm not worried about her arts attack. Alright.
Come on, buy some more.
And... we do have to see who's up there on the deck. If anyone is at all. There'll probably be someone up here, though. Yep. Ash. Oh, dang. Ash and... okay, and on the front deck... well, down to the hold we shall go, then. Take a look and see what's going on. Whoa, what's the deal with all these papers? Is there a problem with the ship? Oh, not at all. It's just, the girls were helping me figure out how to get more fuel and ammunition. It's going to be hard to get all the supplies we need without imports. Right now, we're trying to figure out if we'll be able to meet up with our Remiferian contacts since we're going to Crossbell soon. Of course, that would only drive up the costs even more. So, we're trying to see if there's anything we can do to whittle our expenses down. I see. So you're all combining your expertise then. Given that you're all masters in your respective fields, I imagine we're going to be just fine. Just be careful not to spread yourselves too thin. Roger that. Uh-oh, what's going on here? Is that the data I brought over from the experimental battleship? Yep, I just stumbled onto it while looking through the archives. It's kind of a bummer, though. That big Leviathan guy and those OZ Mirage dolls both use super advanced tech, but they're just so blah. If I were in charge, I'd add a little coolness, a little cuteness, a little something like this. That concept of hers is very similar to the designs of the Divine Knights. Small wonder, given all the experience Mint has with them. I'd like to see where this goes. Uh-oh. Is Mint potentially moving into 5th Disciple territory? I might be willing to let you have that data. Based, of course, on the condition you're able to produce results worthy of. Critical error, data corrupted. Okay, maybe not 5th Disciple. Uh-oh, I think I broke something. Wait, no! The auto cleanup program just deleted everything! Well, restore it from the backup file. And don't you dare touch any unnecessary keys. Understood? Oh, right. The backup. That's a relief. Thanks, Schmitty. You're a pal. Schmitty? Will you ever learn proper laboratory decorum? Unbelievable. Looks like the professor's gotten more used to the way Mint's mind works. They're a good pair, though. Crow and Ordine. Well, I've got everything I need, plus help with setting it all up. It all seems to be in order. So, let's say we head over once we have some spare time. Leave it to me. Crow, Ordine, are the two of you going somewhere? Yeah, it's just a little thing I need to take care of. Something I want to handle before the next rivalry. Something to take care of, huh? Is he gonna head back to Jirai? I mean, it's not the biggest thing in the world, man. Just some personal business. We're all trying to put things in order by the next rivalry, so you gotta make sure that you're all prepared too, alright? But if you're heading down to take care of anything, just let me know, okay? What kind of business does he have to take care of? I have to admit, I'm curious. Mind if I go with you, Crow? We're gonna be out there fighting together, so I want to make sure you're firing on all cylinders. Green. Keep in mind, it's not the fun kind of errand. It might be a good opportunity, though. So he's gonna visit his grandfather's gravesite, or maybe even his own gravesite? I know they've been on your mind, after all. Who? Well, you'll figure it out soon enough. Alright, hurry up and get ready. I'll be waiting here. Where are we gonna visit? Once Reen was ready, they set off from the Courageous 2 with the 2 Divine Knights. They decided to visit various regions to help Crow with his tasks. Is he making amends for his actions at sea? Okay, we're in a Septian church. The Cathedral at Saint Ark. What does he need to do here? There she is! Just like I heard! Sorry, but can you wait a bit? I can't tell who that is from the back. Okay, it's just some lady. Adios! Please find a way to forgive my grandson, Michael. It doesn't absolve his crime, but he was truly concerned for this country. Michael. Was that Vulcan's real first name then? I just pray that he can rest in peace. I pray for the same. Huh? What was that? Oh, okay. Michael was Gideon's first name. These are his... Michael. Is it okay to have just handed those over? I'm in no position to be forgiven. So, on to the next. Michael. Where have I mean, there's a million dudes named Michael. But I guess it's considerably rarer in Erebonia. But the glasses mean Gideon, I think. Damn fools, the lot of them. Getting into this whole war. The Red Constellation, Needhog, and even the former Northern Jaegers. What a mess. If only the boss and everyone could have... Okay, so this is the guy with the connection to Vulcan. But we'll just be able to go and see Scarlet, won't we? I'm sorry I couldn't get revenge. Huh? But it's good you survived. Take care of yourself, yeah? That's what he would have wanted. Vulcan. Is this the boss's tag? Hey, you! This looks like Raquel. Right then. Just gotta wait for someone to get in touch now. Sure. I've pieced it together now, Crow. This is about them, isn't it? Are we really gonna get a cameo from her? The one with the Templar sword. The only two users of a Templar sword are both redheads. Interesting. The only two that we're currently aware of. No, Ayn uses a Templar sword too, doesn't she? So that's 3. After returning to Valimar, Reen and the others received an unexpected message. George! Hey, Reen. Didn't expect to see you again so soon. After I heard from Crow, I thought this might be a good time to reach out. Good thing you're still using your old number. So, does this mean you found her? Yep. You're gonna have to make do with the voice call though. Here, I'll patch you through. Well, I guess it makes sense that S wouldn't still be convalescing at the Alborea household. Hello? Can you hear me all right? It's her! Good to hear from you again, S. Scarlet. Same here, C. Crow, sorry. Still getting used to that. I never thought we'd get a chance to talk again. She's probably not wearing the eye patch anymore. As for Reen, I guess we haven't spoken in a while either. Not since Bereahard. I'm glad you're all right. I thought you'd still be locked up somewhere in Kreutzen. What can I say? This is business as usual for me. Right now, I'm operating outside the Empire on board a Merkaba. Really? A Dominion has taken her in? Well, I guess... that must be... Well... I'm sure Scarlet's killed people, but killing someone definitely... it just happens. It's definitely not something that makes it irredeemable, apparently. You mean as a Gralsritter? Apparently, Eustace flexed his influence to have her released into protective custody. And so, there's only 2 people that we know of. It's either Wazi, Kevin, maybe Ayn? Or an as of yet unnamed Dominion. The church took her past as a squire into account and allowed her to work as a kind of penance for her role in the Civil War. Wow, Eustace really came through. Can't imagine it's all footsies and tea parties, you being a former terrorist and all. It was pretty tough at first, but it's better now. Father Wazi and that bald knight are actually pretty reasonable when you sit down and talk to them. Okay, so it is Wazi and Abbas. Some of the recruits here joined up around the same time as me, and they're interesting people here, so I'm not bored at all. That's great. I'm glad to know you're doing all right. I won't pretend I wasn't a little discouraged when I found out Osborne had survived. But I was able to get past that and find a new path forward thanks to all of you. You have my gratitude. Right. Crow, I heard all about what you've been doing. Let's both do our best, not for revenge, but for them, and for the world too. Of course, let's do this thing right. So, G, V, and S, saying one final goodbye to them. So, those people that we saw back there, were they really related to those in the ILF? Yeah, doing that's always been on my mind ever since I got my memories back. It's the least I can do to make it up to the pals who went to Gehenna with me. I managed to find some people who knew Vulcan and Gideon, so I just decided to go forward with it. I see. Though I have to say I'm surprised that the church took her in. Yeah. And that other guy. He must have had a lot of things on his mind. Well, in any case, it feels like I'm tying up some loose ends. Don't have to worry about it anymore in my final moments. Crow. No, I guess it's more like this is just the beginning, isn't it? We'll make it work, dude. They're back! Reen! Crow! Sheesh. Where exactly did you two wander off to? Toa. Angelica. There's always a place and people to return to, even for us. For everyone's sake, including those who died, it's not over yet. We have to see it through to the end and make it back alive, no matter what. I guess you're right. First, there's the coming rivalry. We have to succeed. I'm counting on you, partner. Right. Now, if that doesn't max him out, I don't know what will. Afterward, they were met by Toa and Angelica and made it back safely to the Courageous. Once the Divine Knights were on board, they again set off. Nice. Maxed him out quite successfully. We can't just let it go. I guess that's true. We've got the rivalry first. We've got to win. Let's do this. Hi, Celine. What are you doing here? I just wanted to take another look at Valimar. He's changed so much recently. Yeah, that ogre-like silhouette he had is completely gone. He's looking a lot more like his old self, if you ask me. That's true, but he's using more mana now too. His appearance has changed to reflect that. Hopefully his natural baseline stats have gone up. Now that he's absorbed Zector's power, he's taken on his third form. Maybe we should call this form True Valimar. Oh, I guess there's not going to be a fourth or a fifth. True Valimar. Yeah, that feels fitting. I see what you meant now about the rivalries being a struggle for power. I thought I could handle whatever they threw at me, but... well, exactly how I'm feeling about them is kind of complicated. But I guess I've just got to stick with it and do the best I can. I understand how you feel. You may not have a choice about participating, but that doesn't mean you have to like it. For now, just try to struggle through this, but don't be afraid to stay true to yourself. Celine. Thanks. It makes me feel better to know I don't have to try to be something I'm not. And we talked to them. All that's left is whoever's back here. Oh. Elliot, your performance was pure class! I felt like it was echoing right in my soul. Usually only rock can get me fired up like that. I'm impressed. Aw, thanks. Glad to hear it resonated with you. Looks like you've got yourself a new fan, Elliot. I'd be lying if I said he wasn't an inspiration. Miss Mint's here too, so I'd love to set up a collaboration between the Modern Music Club and the Wind Orchestra. That'd be great! Hey, Reen, what do you say to breaking out your old guitar and joining in? Only if you give me a lot of time to practice first. Alright. Let me take a quick nap, and then we're gonna do everybody else's things. I'm definitely gonna keep Crow's canon, so I'm not worried about saving over it when we've already spent 1 point. Next up is Altina. See her love event. Altina? Who are you talking to? Oh, Instructor Reen. Actually... perfect timing. Would you mind giving this a listen, Reen? It's probably gonna be Claire. Oh! George! Thank you for your help earlier. No problem. It sounds like you were able to have a good chat with Scarlet. Thanks again for keeping an eye on Crow for me. Oh no, I didn't do much, really. So, did you happen to have information concerning the workshop? Yeah, I actually have something I'd like to get Altina's confirmation on. Figured I'd get in touch with her via the Courageous too. I like how we're basically back to normal with George. Something you want confirmation on? The headquarters for the Black Workshop is located at the base of the Greyborn Mountains. However, it appears to have been abandoned at some point. It is completely deserted now. They've left it behind. I'm not sure if the Black Workshop is like their ancestral homeland like Errand Village is, or just a place they literally set up shop. What? You mean the place where I was held captive? The very same. Not only is Albrecht gone, but he took enormous stores of research data and experimental Zalber soldats with him. When I checked around this time yesterday, it had already been wiped clean. I had no idea they were planning anything like that. Maybe I simply wasn't trusted with the information. I was hoping I could get your thoughts on this, Altina, seeing as that's where you're originally from. I wish I had something useful to share. Unfortunately, my memory of that time is still a bit hazy. However, I think this might actually prove to be a good opportunity for us. How so? I'm trying to track them down now, so I can't really help directly, but if you're interested, you should have enough time to investigate the workshop site before we need to head to the next shrine. Wow, he said we. Gotcha. Well, it definitely could be a good chance to find out some new information. Though the probability of finding anything conclusive there is likely close to nil. Yeah. Albrecht strikes me as not the type to leave a job half done. Still, I don't think it would be an entirely fruitless endeavor. There could be intel on the Zalber soldats, S-weapons, the combat shells, and homunculi like me and Milliam. Altina. I've secured a tentative infiltration route. I know it's asking a lot for you to trust me given the mess I've made of things. If you do decide to do this though, please contact me through Altina. Yeah, you bet. I'll be making preparations just in case. We're definitely going, so... The Black Workshop is completely deserted. We don't know why, but this could be our chance to investigate it. There could be intel on the Zalber soldats, S-weapons, the combat shells, and homunculi like me and Milliam. Altina. Well, it's understandable that it will be on our mind. It may be completely deserted, but it is the Gnomes' headquarters, so I think we're gonna need some help. Should I get in contact with George and go investigate the Black Workshop? The Black Workshop. We need to consider the risks, but there's a lot we can potentially gain by checking it out. Let's fill everyone in first, and then get in contact with George. Understood. I'll tell everyone right away. Go ahead and see what we can find out. Reen briefed those on board about the situation and received approval for the plan to investigate the Black Workshop. As a precaution, the small team tasked with infiltrating the facility was to be supported by the Courageous too. Altina and Crow contacted George. Wow, this is a big operation. He headed to the workshop using a teleportation gate that he had secret access to. Still looks snazzy. Yeah, we came ready. So this is the Black Workshop. It used to be the Gnomes' HQ, huh? They might still be using it in some capacity. You never know. Angelica, do you remember the last time we were here? Clear as day. The mask didn't mess with my memories from that time. You guys had to take on the Chancellor, the Steel Maiden, and the Blazing Demon all at once. It was crazy. But now all is still and quiet. Frankly, it's unsettling. Not a soul in here besides us. It feels abandoned. These conditions are ideal for us. We can conduct our investigations without interference. So we're splitting into groups? Okay, we'll go to the S-Weapon Lab. I've been curious about the origins of my Berserker and Shirley's Testarossa. When we met in Stargazer's Tower, we were enemies. Now we're working together. Who would have thought? Well, Toval, you shouldn't have become so popular. Yeah, feels odd. Don't stab me in the back, please, Doovy. Don't come up with pet names for me! As for us, we'll go check out the combat shell in Zauber's Soldat research lab. Maybe Albrecht left behind his research notes or something. You're going to the homunculus lab, correct? Will you be okay? Yes, I've been there once before when we came to save Instructor Reen. It's where Milliam and I were born. Maybe there's still something to learn there. Yes, maybe. Let's see what we can find. The Courageous 2 will be patrolling the area around you. Return at once if you're in danger. We'll be waiting here. Let us know if anything goes wrong. Alright, everyone knows what to do, so let's get started. So if anything happens, we have some people on site to be responders to. Alright, to it. Still looks as deserted as previously. I think I know what these are. Incubation chambers? OZ series incubation tanks. Test subjects which failed to become Milliam or me. They were discarded when we were born. That's disgustingly cruel. The DG cult was researching something similar a few years ago. Instructor Reen. Are we gonna get a flashback? No. Huh? What the? Somebody had to take it down. An OZ Mirage. Whew. It's an archaism manufactured at the Black Workshop based on Ouroboros' designs. Seems to be inactive. Perhaps it malfunctioned, and they left it behind when they moved to a new base. Are we gonna give it a burial? Huh? Oh, yeah. I regret the things I did when I was escaping before. I didn't do anything to this particular unit, but still. I feel sorry for it, left like this. Let me at least lean it against the wall. Instructor. So sentimental. I'd have left it there. What's this white capsule? It doesn't look like an incubator. I noticed it when we were here last. Yeah, there was a really long, active voice about it. Pretty interesting. Because it is in this area, it must have been involved in the OZ series research. It's deactivated and locked. Something about it bothers me, but it's not like we'll find out more just by looking at it. But why does it seem so familiar? What's familiar about it? Empty tanks? More empty tanks, you mean? Oh, they're empty tanks. OZ. Wait, 73 and 74. That's... Yes. These are the tanks where Milliam and I were grown.
So this girl's my sister, huh? Sorry, I don't know if we'll remember this, but when you get outside, let's make sure to meet up and play together, okay?
Taken from this world too soon. How odd. This place is so lifeless and desolate. And yet, it fills me with nostalgia somehow. That's completely normal, Altina. It reminds you of your sisterly bond with Milliam. Yes, I suppose that must be it. That bond was once the only thing I knew I could trust. Both Milliam and I were created for the sole purpose of becoming the sword. This knowledge was hidden from us and sealed deep within our memories, but we always sensed it. That's why I envy Milliam. Altina. She sacrificed herself to protect those dear to her, and though it meant becoming the sword,
I must protect. I must. Rean, Yuna, Kurt.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god, he had his hands on her neck.
Muse, Ash, William, everyone.
That's what I wanted too. I wasn't afraid of what might happen to me. I'm sure that is precisely how Milliam felt as well. Although, the Milliam that the spectral moon mirror showed us had regrets.
Guess I should say sorry, though, for not being strong enough. I wanted to be able to say, I saved the day, that I helped protect everyone. But I never thought I'd cause you guys all this grief instead.
I finally understood that myself. It dawned on me when you saved me at the Isengard mountain range the other day. Oh. I appreciate the sentiment, but please don't do that again. Talk things through with someone. Don't just rush out on your own. I see. I was really panicked. Yes, I had never seen that much fear in your eyes before.
It seems that even someone as dependable as you has a vulnerable side. So, during those moments of weakness, I want to be the one to protect you.
That's kind of you. You've changed a lot, Altina. Though I'm not really sure if I've played a role in it, I'm really impressed by how you've grown. But thank you. I'm honored that you care so much about me, Altina. You're welcome. What's the matter? It's nothing. I am experiencing an emotion I find difficult to put into words. It is different from what I feel toward Yuna or Kurt. How do I say it? It is joyous, but a bit suffocating, and there's warmth and excitement as well. Is this familial affection? Camaraderie? I've read about various kinds of love. Is this the same kind that Elisa and Elise feel towards you? I don't know. Maybe it's best if you take it easy. I'm sure you'll find it out for yourself in time. I mean, you still have a lot to learn about feelings and stuff. Take it one step at a time.
Instructor, it would seem you're trying to hide something.
No! What gave you that impression?
Perhaps you'd like to share? Or is your mind filled with inappropriate thoughts?
Rean is as pure as the driven snow, I'll have you know. Huh? Of course not. It's true that she's become more emotionally mature. I'm both happy and concerned thinking about her future. Rean and Altina joined the team members who searched the other areas, and they all returned to the ship through a portal. They didn't find the information they were after, but at least they discovered how many new Zalber Soldats, combat shells, and OZ Mirage units had been produced. Furthermore, they realized it was highly possible that the Black Workshop was moved to an entirely new location. And yeah, I think our bond is already maxed out. Despite its dark history, this is the place where I was born. It's very dear to me. I'm only able to think of it that way now thanks to everything I learned from you and the rest of Class 7. I hope I can keep relying on your support. Yeah, I really look forward to seeing how you grow from here. And one day soon, I hope that I can clearly define what my feelings are for you, Instructor. Well, I don't want you to rush to find an answer for that. You'll know when the time is right. Alright, that's a good way to handle it, Reenie baby. Next up, let's do... Well, let's go ahead and move to one of these two. They're both standing near each other. Hold on. They're closer to the... Oh, I could have just walked down from where Altina was at and been good to go. Yeah, Fee. We did her thing, but back then I was concerned about being locked into her romance, so we didn't end up using all our bonding points for the first, like, 2 different bonding time frames. So, Fee is an unfortunate casualty of this. As far as the game is concerned, we never did our first thing. Hey, Fee, that a box of cigars you got there? Yeah, and a lighter too. The boss left them behind. I was thinking I might make a decent memento of him. I see. He was into that sort of thing, I take it. Yep, heavy drinker, heavy smoker. Goes hand in hand. I heard Sarah's dad was the one who converted him to this brand, actually. Really now? That does seem like the kind of thing 2 Jaegers could bond over. Make sure you take good care of it. I will. With the lighter, at least. Not sure what to do with the cigars, though. I'm not so keen on smoking them myself. Actually, are you free right now, Reen? Does you want to share a cigar? There's something I want to take care of before we head to Crossbell. I think I see where this is going, what with that box of keepsake cigars. I'm guessing you're going down to the surface. I don't mind tagging along wherever you're heading. Thanks. So about this place... Will they have Fee smoke one? I think that'd be cool. But it might hurt her waifu ability among the people who like Fee, so probably not. I like Fee, but just not Fee x Reen. Is this his headstone? So this is the spot. We're just to the south of Hamel. Better than putting it right inside the town. I don't think that'd go over well. This should be far enough, though. Besides, it's only temporary. You really think this is okay? Yeah. Leo and Zeno have already finished paying their respects. I wish I could smoke with them. But whenever I ask, they look at me like I sprouted wings. Maybe it's a generational thing. Not a lot of women used to smoke in their day. Yeah, that's probably all it is. Still, it kind of feels like a waste to throw this whole box away. Do you mind if I have one? I don't really know if it'll count, but I'd like to try. I didn't know you smoked, Reen. I don't. This will be my first time. Sharing one with a youngster like me probably wouldn't mean anything to Rutger. Don't say that. Do you, know how to do this? I think so. You snip the end first, right? I actually don't know how to smoke a cigar. You're inhaling too much. Boss always said that was a rookie mistake. Don't try to pull the smoke down into your lungs. Just let it drift around inside your mouth a little. Oh, okay. Whew. I've got to be honest. I don't know what people see in this. Yeah, it's not for everyone. We can give the rest to the boss some other time. Hey, how about you let us in on this? Probably Leo and Zeno. Oh. Zeno, Leo, everyone. Sorry, we didn't know if we should interrupt. We figured it'd be worth paying our respects anyhow. Thank you. Guess you didn't know him a long time too. In that case, mind if I join the party? Who's this? Oh! Huh? You guys... Figured you'd show up eventually. We came to share one last drink with the Jaeger King. I brought along a bottle of his favorite bourbon. Hey, nice! They're so cordial to each other. What do you say, Fee? Thanks for coming. We've got cigars if anyone wants one. Yeah, what a way to send them off. Hey, so, what are the chances I can get you to pass some of that stuff over to me? She's 19 right now. None for you, young miss. Hey now, you're still underage. Show a little restraint. Wait, what was that when she was our teacher? Sarah was all about the underage drinking when it was Reen. Yeah, Uncle Sigmund would kill me if he found out. I didn't expect people in this line of work to be so strict about this kind of stuff. You'd be surprised. They've got their own code to stick to. Everyone passed the time reminiscing about the Jaeger King. Eventually, everyone except Reen and Fee had said their farewells and left. He sure did touch a lot of people's lives. Yeah, he sure did. Even members of Needhog and the Northern Jaegers might be coming by later. Yeah, he might have even had more connections than Sarah's dad. Not that all of them stayed friends. He made his fair share of enemies too. Yeah, I'm sure. But even that was just business. I never met anyone who disliked him personally. Fee. I'm alright. Just got some smoke in my eye. Come on, Reen. There's still a lot we need to do. Yeah, you're right. Alright, well that was a pretty good send-off. I guess we're just lucky he never got any directive to come after our lives. Probably wouldn't feel like paying respects to the guy in that case, but we don't have to worry about that. And be like, I can imagine Reen still going there like, yeah, Rooker did try to kill us with everything he had, but he was still a pretty cool guy. There's only so much I can do from here. If only I could just head over there myself. Elisa, what are you up to? Oh, Reen, you remember what my mother said on the, or mentioned on the Gargantua, right? About the 5th? Sure.
Ah, I see. The one produced by the 5th Development Division.
We gonna go check on him?
So this is your capstone project.
The RF Group's 5th Development Division. There were several rumors regarding them during the Civil War, but it all kind of blew over before I could ever get to the heart of it. I'd assumed it was the Noble or Reformist factions' doing, a department created and run in absolute secrecy. But in truth, it was the Black Workshop who'd been keeping it under wraps. Yeah, it even slipped under the noses of Sharon and my mother. Seems they had a hand in those practice combat shells, not to mention the Goliath Altina lost control in. I guess you-know-who came aboard as a specialist to help bring about the Zauber's Soldats. So the questions at hand, then, are when these took place, and who the staff behind them were. Right. If we were at Reinford HQ and Ruhr, we could investigate it at a much deeper level. But it looks like Mother and Grandfather still haven't been able to make their way back. I see. Elisa seems a lot more positive now that she's gotten past that incident on the Gargantua. I'd like to find out a few things about this so-called division myself. Maybe I could help her out. Hey, Elisa. It may be too risky for the Courageous 2 to plot a course for Ruhr at the moment. But what if we used Valimar instead? Huh? Elisa then gratefully accepted Reen's rather convincing proposal. After inviting Sharon to come along with them, the trio had Valimar take them to Ruhr via the Spirit Path. Yeah, it's been a while. Nortia Province, Ruhr, Reinford Group Corporate HQ. Been a while since we've been here. Fourth Development Division Office. Gonna see if they know anything. What a relief! I'm so glad to see you're alright, Miss Elisa. And you too, Sharon. I heard you had quit, but here you are. I'm sorry for worrying you guys. And I apologize for all the complications I've surely caused. We'll hear none of that. You two are the reason business here in the 4th Division is as stable as ever. We've also been in contact with Chairman Arena. We're to investigate something regarding the 5th Division, correct? Yes, and if my intuition is correct, we should be able to flesh out everyone involved with the plan we discussed earlier. We've taken control of the internal network, and would greatly appreciate your assistance in this endeavor from here on. Of course! We'll take care of anything you need! Right, we'll show you the full capabilities of the 4th Division. By the way, you wouldn't be Miss Lisa's, you know what, would you? Adios, what's wrong with you? Don't you know how to read a room? Oh, well, looks like we're all set to go. We'll leave you guys to it then. Yeah, he's upset. The 4th Division really comes through in a pinch, huh? They truly are most excellent, each and every one. The only thing they dedicate themselves to more than their work is learning all the details of their beautiful general manager's love life. Let's just leave that topic for another day. We have an investigation to get to, don't we? Thanks to the vigorous efforts of the 4th Development Division members, the group managed to gather information on the company's internal activities. With Elisa and Sharon working together, and Reen offering his input as well, the group eventually drafted a hypothesis of sorts. The crux of it being that the 5th Development Division, as it stood in an official capacity, was just a front. It did not operate as a standard division, but rather as one in the shadows, maneuvering and directing members from each of the other divisions in secret. Ah, okay. So it's like they've hydra'd their way into the other development divisions. This seemed all too possible, given that numerous members across the departments have been confirmed to be engaging in mysterious and inexplicable acts. Further, they discovered several employees were currently on leave of some sort, some of whose whereabouts were completely unknown. With this intel in hand, Elisa made an official report as general manager to Chairman Arena. The group then developed plans to amend the issues so as to prevent any underhanded activity from harming operations. Alright, we got it done. Didn't get any names though. Well, no, we got names. We found out about employees who were on leave. We needed names for that. Oh, that sure was a lot to go through. Definitely. But it sounds like things went just about as well as you could hope for, right? I wasn't surprised to hear that most of the employees wrapped up in this mess were struggling with debt or other hardships. That's never a nice thing to see, but investing such thorough attention and discussion into the situation really brought things back around. Yeah, though it'll probably take a while to clear things up for everyone since there were so many staff involved. Still, even if things aren't 100% up to par yet, I can tell we're moving in the right direction. I'm sure. You know, Elisa, I think this is the happiest I've seen you all day. Oh. Yeah. To be honest, I was having all kinds of weird thoughts for a while. I just got so worked up over one thing to the next. But after what happened with the Spectral Moon Mirror and at the Gargantua, I've managed to solidify my determination. No more doubts. Well, I guess Sharon coming back and reconciling with Mom played a big part in it too. But that sounds pretty self-centered, doesn't it? I don't think it sounds that way at all, Elisa. War may be drawing near, but if the RF Group reestablished itself as the upstanding company it once was, it would inspire all sorts of people. Depending on how things develop, it's possible this war might not last long without an increase in arms production. That's true. Of course, we'll still have to contend with all the complications the national mobilization law throws our way. But all the technicians and engineers out there do have their own ideas and dignity to uphold. If this incident causes a stir, it's sure to be a source of hope to them and whoever else may need it. Thank you, Reen, for bringing me this far. Don't mention it. All I did was open the spirit path. No need to be so modest. You're the real reason, Reen. It's the courage you gave me time and time again that's made all this possible. Facing Sharon and Mother, being ready to confront the man who used to be my father. All of it. So thank you. I couldn't be happier to be here at your side. Oh, Lisa. I just hope I prove myself useful. Next up, we'll be finally heading to Crossbell. Let's do our best out there, as members of Class 7. You got it! And then, if we aren't already maxed out, this should do the trick. Sharon soon came back and joined them, sparing no opportunity to tease the two until they were red around the ears. They then headed back to the Courageous 2 together, after saying their goodbyes to the 4th Development Division. Yeah. We're not maxed out, but we're getting close to it. Alright. Why does it start us off here? Alright, because we didn't double tap her. Thank you for coming with me to see the boss. I didn't think anyone else would come. I'm sure the boss was really happy. Let's visit his grave again once we've taken care of the Great Twilight. That would make me really happy. And then... you... I reported to Mother. We can expel the Black Workshop's dark shadow from RF soon. Now that there's nothing holding us back, we can keep moving forward. I know I keep saying this, but thank you. I'm happy that I was able to help. And let's go for you next. Oh, right back where we were already at. Alright, what are you doing? Oh, Emma, what's that you're reading? Oh, Lane, it's you. These are some notes left by Isola Milstein, my mother. Grandmother collected the ones she'd saved and sent them to me. Oh, so that's all it was. Your mother was a wandering witch before Vita was, right? Yes, but her magical abilities weren't really all that powerful. Really now? But she was always eager to learn. She had a good many ties to the outside world and took it upon herself to look into the Empire's curse on her own. She must have been such a big influence on my sister when she was young. And an incredible person at that, from what you've told me. She passed away from an unfortunate accident, right? Well, we might find out that that's not actually the case, but for now, yeah. That's right. Though I'm not sure if it was the work of the curse per se. It's probably just a coincidence, right? Then again, I suppose dealing with the curse's aftermath is in itself a form of being caught up in it. Yeah, you're probably right about that one. That said, there's actually quite a few entries that have nothing to do with her mission. It's as if I'm rekindling the memories I had of her from when I was young. It feels nice, you know? Yeah, I can imagine. Oh, by the way, I saw a little good luck spell written in here somewhere. Want to try it out, Reen? It might help relax your body and mind from any fatigue you're feeling. Yeah, let's get some Felix Felicis going. A magic charm written by Emma's mom, huh? Sounds intriguing. Sure, I'll take you up on that. Since you're offering, I mean. Oh, don't worry. It's no trouble at all, really. It's better if we didn't do it here, though. Shall we go someplace else? So let's take a look and see what Azola's magic was all about. Uh-oh. That's not supposed to happen. That smell. It's Errand flower, isn't it? It is. The scent of Errand flowers can enhance the potency of the charm. Though it is also known to induce a few other effects as well. Other effects? Is it an aphrodisiac? Oh, enough about that. Let's begin, Reen. The first step is to bring our foreheads together. Can I get you to lean forward a bit? Wow. Magic is really intimate, isn't it? Sure. Like this? Don't think too hard about it. It's only a magic charm, remember? Alright. Here we go.
By your side through land and sea.
So where are we now? What is this? Did Emma lie to us about a spell again? A state of being not unlike a dream, brought into being by the crossing of our consciousness. Okay, let me not immediately assume the worst of Emma. She's a good person. Things might get a little embarrassing from here. Bear with me for just a bit longer, okay? Huh?
Fall into peaceful slumber.
The sensation. Where have I felt it before? Mom. But not just Lucia. Rain? Well, good morning. Did you have a nice rest? So that's what happened. I fell asleep, just like that. Did you carry me all the way here? Wasn't that hard? A bit, perhaps, but never mind that. How are you feeling? Well, my body and mind feel totally refreshed. It's almost as though I've been completely reborn. My compliments to your mom. This charm was incredible. It was originally one of the witch's lullabies, from what I understand. Mother used it as a base for her own unique version. She designed it so that it could be used not only for children, but also for family and those you hold dear. Those you hold dear, huh? Well, that's just more of an example, really. One of many. Anyway, your fatigue seems to be gone now. That's the most important thing, right? Yeah. Thank you so much, Emma. I'll make sure to pay you back for this sometime. Think nothing of it, Reen. Shall we head back now? Alright, she got us nice and taken care of. Alright. And then we're going to have to reload the save, but I think we're going to take care of that request that we got from Stark. Whoa.
Let's get going.
There's our destination, but holy crap. She looks like she's about 3 seconds away from dying. Jeez, dude. Look at that herd of monsters. Looks like they've got someone surrounded. Come on, we've got to help them. Ada, I'll try to draw the big one's attention. Use that chance to escape. Don't be ridiculous. You won't stand a chance against that thing. If one of us needs to escape, it's you. Aw, come on. I always wanted to play the knight in shining armor. I just didn't know it would hurt this much. Jeez. Anyway, I'll do my best to create an opening. You just get ready to run.
Second form, Gale!
Taught everybody a lesson. Instructor Reen! I don't believe it! Sydney, you think you can cover us? Sure, these monsters are nothing compared to that brute. Can I count on you for backup, Ada? Do you really have to ask? Yeah, this should be easy.
The enemy is strong. Please brace yourselves.
Is it? Is it strong? Yeah. They are not strong. Let's go ahead and do one of these.
Let's go! Raging fire formation!
And then we can end these things. Nice.
It's down!
An opening! I'll handle this.
Okay, so they can take a bit of damage.
Azure
You're not
Cleaver!
supposed to be able to do that. Missed entirely.
Very well.
If we've got 3 coming our way. Let's do Avalon Hearts.
Avalon Hearts!
My duty calls.
And then Duvali can get that Blade Lord Spectering in.
Try and see through this. Ha!
Most excellent.
Strike!
Crazy with the critical.
Yes.
And Umbral Butterflies cannot unbalance. That's disappointing. Nice. That is much better.
Too slow.
Enhanced. But we almost got the win, so. Waning Crescent Slash with that additional unbalanced chance. Go ahead and sit this thing all the way down.
Reliable as always, Laura.
I'm glad I was able to assist.
28% chance, 22% chance, 45% chance. Get to know the cats is putting in some work. Okay, looks like we're safe. Whew, seriously, I can't thank you guys enough. No problem. How's the hunt for materials going? We just found what we were looking for when we got attacked. We were looking for bear claw, a medicinal herb native to Liberl that grows in damp environments. Well, there's a 100% chance this has been mentioned before when we were playing as Estelle. The conditions and plant life around here are similar to Liberl, so it seemed like a good place to look. It's close to the river, so there's plenty of moisture in the soil. Bear claw, huh? I remember hearing about that in Celtic back when I was a student. For me, it all came rushing back when Kyrie said he needed a spiky herb that looked like an animal claw. I remember Freddy found some when we had field exercises in Sutherland. Oh, how about that? You good, Ada? I was just thinking that I may have misjudged you a little. But however noble your intentions may have been, I don't think much of your knight in shining armor act. Do you think I can't handle myself just because I'm a woman? Come on, you know I didn't mean it like that. If anything, I'd say most of the girls I know are better at fighting monsters than I am. How very enlightened of you, Sydney. No, really. Truly, yours is a mind free from prejudice. Jeez, alright, well. I'm baffled as to how you can still be single. Geez, she tore this man down. Ow, why'd you have to go there? For what it's worth, I am grateful. Huh? Did you just actually say something nice to me? It must have been your imagination. This is fun to watch. Yes, they're quite in sync, aren't they? That's a good way of putting it. Thank you again for rescuing us, Instructor Schwarzer. We'll head back to the Dareflinger so we can synth up some supplies. Can you let Kyrie and the others know we're alright? Sure, leave it to us. Alright, well, we rescued them. Now let's go to... Wait, where was it? Sydney is on Parmby Road. Alright, well, we just gotta check it then. Are they on this one? Probably not, but... We got anything? Yes! Okay, so they are here. But we can't actually do anything till we get close. So we got the boyos here next. Hey, isn't that... It seems like they're in significantly less danger. Kyrie from the branch campus and Fritz from the main campus, if I'm not mistaken. Looks that way. Oh, there it is. This has got to be Zamiria moss. The same kind the church uses in its special medicines. So this is what we've been looking for. I'd never have picked it out as anything special by myself. Sure is good to have an expert from the team. This all took longer than I expected, but at least we're done. Ah! So who wants some? Oh, it's a magic knight! This doesn't look good. We have to do something! Stay back, Kyrie. You'll only get in the way. Find someplace safe to hide. I'll take care of this. But Fritz is like, I will die for you, Kairi. Because that is exactly what's going to happen. Not so fast. I'll take you on. Wait, I can help. Fritz, be careful. Oh, I thought Fritz was going to get taken out. I really messed up this time. Fritz, Kairi, you take on that monster. We'll handle this one. Yes, instructor. Alright, so you have breathed your last, Magic Knight.
A worthy opponent.
Alright, so first things first. We'll get those Avalon Hearts in.
Avalon Hearts!
And then immediately go for the Waning Crescent Slash.
Cut through!
Didn't unbalance it. That kind of sucks. Oh, one true Azure Cleaver. Nice, there we go.
Now!
That's what we were after.
Here I go.
Alright, one Blade Lord Spectre. Again for that increased unbalanced chance.
Yes.
And she will have the honor of dropping the Battle Scope. Magic Knight Sigheim, level 132. Magic Golem from the Dark Age is armed with a longsword. Pleroma Grass has heightened its power even further. It's weak to fire and mirage. Uh-oh!
Predictable.
Gotcha.
I'm up.
And then Reen can go for the unbalance again.
Cut through.
Nice.
Down.
An opening.
And with this,
It's my turn.
let's tells what Butterfly do. 50% evade. Yeah, let's go.
Dance. Phantasmal butterfly. Leave this to me.
It's pretty good. Let's go for this action. Nice.
This is our chance. Too slow. My duty calls.
Again with the Blade Lord Spectre.
Try and see through this.
We've almost got it, actually.
I'll handle this.
You shall. But that's because you will issue Raging Fire.
Let's go. Raging fire formation.
I'll handle this.
And then we'll run up and strike.
Yeah.
So this probably won't be enough to take it down.
The soul of Arsene.
Sure, let's have Reen do it. Reen will definitely be able to get this thing put in its place. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Radiant Phoenix Blade.
Oh, never mind. Laura had it handled. Even though they've been disrespecting her since CS2, she can still put out the damage.
Onward.
All right, got it.
Oh, how lovely.
Yeah, I did it.
That's how it's done.
All right. Nobody died, and the Pleroma Grass wilted. Are you two all right? Yes, I think so. No broken bones here. Whew, that's a relief. So, were you able to get what you needed? We were, yes, thanks to you all. Fritz, you okay? I'm fine, it's just, I was pretty damn useless back there. I showed no respect for your abilities, failed to properly assess the situation, and charged in like an idiot. Kairi, I'm really sorry for what I said. If anyone was in the way, it was me. Don't be so hard on yourself, Fritz. We couldn't have defeated that monster without you. Besides, I'm used to people making snap judgments because of the way I look, so don't sweat it. We're good. Kairi, you might just be one of the strongest people I've ever met. I'll be counting on you to keep me out of trouble. It'll be my pleasure. A little bump in the road, but it looks like their bond is stronger than ever now. Don't go running this back to Dorothy now. I'm happy for them. Kyrie's grown so much that it's almost like he's a different person. Instructor, I haven't had the chance to properly thank you yet. I can't imagine what might have happened if you hadn't shown up. I can. It's not pretty. Oh, hey, have Sydney and Ada finished collecting their share? Now all that's left to do is head back to the Dareflinger and prep the new supplies. We'll go with you. Go ahead and see if we might be able to get our hands on something nice. Potentially, anyways. They returned to the Dareflinger. Thanks to Kyrie and the main campus students, they were able to quickly gather the necessary materials. Wow, Kyrie and the main campus students? So just F Sydney, huh? You're the reason that we'll be able to fully maintain our medicine supply. I really can't thank you enough. It's true. We could have never done it without you, Kyrie. Don't mention it! We help each other out in times of need. Oh, come on, man. I told you not to be so formal all the time. Well, I take my hat off to you, Kyrie. And to you as well, Instructor Schwarzer. You truly saved us out there. It was all you, honestly. You guys really gave it your all. By the way, there's something that's been on my mind for a while now. Hey, Fritz, are you and Ada, you know? Huh? What about me and Ada? Goodness, Sydney, is that what you occupy your time with? There's nothing going on between us. Why don't we drop this topic of discussion and focus a little more on the task at hand? Oh, that's what he meant. Well, it was a very Sydney type of question, wasn't it? You can just consider that one of my unique qualities. Hold on, just listen for a second. That was a little unexpected, but all in all, everyone seems to have grown closer. Got that taken care of, all nice and perfect. After that, Kyrie and Sydney went back to the Courageous with Reen and reported back to Stark. Golden. Alright. So we've got that taken care of now. And we got Sydney's note. Alright, so we can save over this one. And then we've got 3 more bonding events to view. Oh, and Kyrie's second one. Let's start with, well, let's go for him. See where he's been hiding out at for us. Oh, he's on the rear deck. Okay. That's to deck. That is also to deck. Alright, we might be heading the right way. We might be heading the wrong way. Will we be right? We are right. Excellent. Man, you're always asking for something. I don't know what's on your plate, but I'm pretty busy with my own shit here. Who's he talking to? Alright, well, I'll let you know. Peace. Ash, who was that? Well, if it isn't Thor's biggest busybody. Way to eavesdrop on me. It's nothing. A bad influence from back home hit me up, that's all. A bad influence? Come again? Yeah, you met him once, but he's not the kind of guy a goody two-shoes like you would cozy up with. Name's Brad. He's a real shit stirrer. Oh, wait, I think... Was Brad the guy who was super jealous of Ash? Yeah. Just casually calling him, huh? Yeah, I know who you mean. That friend of yours from Raquel. He was the one who tried to sell you out to that informant when you snuck into the city, right? Yeah, I guess he's wrangled together my old Fafnir buddies from during the Civil War. Now they're back in operation, and up to their old tricks. Yeah, I didn't show it, but when we were running around trying to take a look and see if there were any new recipes, that blonde lady at the Hermit Bar and Inn told us that Fafnir was back together. And though it looks like they're sticking with low-level crap like extortion and brawling. Nothing the IDF would give 2 shits about. When we were doing the field exercises before, I ended up giving him my contact info. And now he says he has something to discuss with me, whatever the hell that means. That is a little concerning, I have to say. He must have his reasons for contacting you like this, though, right? To be perfectly honest, given everything that's going down, I really don't have time to be dicking around with that bastard. We'll focus on our own problems, and you focus on yours. Ash. If it's going to be bugging you anyway, why not see what he has to say? You must have at least an inkling as to why he wants to talk to you, right? Well, yeah, if I consider the circumstances surrounding the guy. Still, though, even more reason to tie up loose ends now, right? To make sure you don't regret it down the line. I'll be there alongside you, of course, as your instructor and as a fellow member of Class 7. Man, Teeks, you just love nosing in on people's drama, don't you? I get what you're saying, though. Can't really move forward when you're knee-deep in yesterday's bullshit. Alright, bring out Valimar, Schwarzer. I want to settle this. You got it, Ash. Is Brad going to apologize? That's not really likely, but he might. Ash called Brad back to talk. They met at Deckens and Raquel, and Brad told Ash everything. Ash! What happened? I'm glad you're here, and you too, instructor. Just thought I'd drop by. You've got some nerve calling me up after bringing back Fafnir and trying to sell me out. Ugh, I feel so bad about that. It's like I was possessed or something. And I couldn't think of anyone else who could help with this. Please help me. I don't know what to do. It seems like things are pretty serious. All right. We'll hear you out. Is he drafted, or is he trying to figure out how to dodge the draft? We can get you to Crossbell, bro. Or I guess we can smuggle you out of Crossbell. So you and your friends committed blackmail and other misdemeanors. And the Shadows was your informant, Miguel. And then Miguel snitched. Yeah, that's basically it. At first, he was just doing stuff like showing us the perfect places to extort people. But then he made me do all sorts of stuff because I owed him or something. I had to bring some product from orders without the Imperial Defense Force busting me. You mean, yeah, he was a drug mule. Sounds pretty sketchy. Yeah, and recently he's been asking for some pretty major stuff. To top it all off, we almost got dragged into some shady business of his not too long ago. If this keeps going on, we're seriously gonna end up at the point of no return. Okay, I get it. So Miguel has to go down. So he had you move some product, huh? Ash? It's nothing. Alright, long story short, you realize the error of your ways because you're in way over your head and you're scared. Now you know how stupid you were to bring Fafnir back and do whatever the hell you want right before the war, huh? So what? Is there something wrong with me realizing that? It's just, you went off to join that military academy, and then I heard you shot the Emperor of all people. So when this old dude told me I could be top dog around, I thought, yeah, why not? It looks like the curse worked its way in with all of that emotional turmoil. Yeah, I got it. I'm the reason why. Probably for that moron, too. In that case, I gotta set things straight, huh? Ash, are you okay? You look like you're back to normal. Well, back to being a goofball. Don't worry about it. Leave the rest to me, Brad. I'll talk it over with the old man. I've got some stuff I want to ask him myself anyway. You do? Anyway, we'll have you be of use here. Got it? Let's go look for some clues. So let's see what old Miguel is up to. He's probably hanging out in a back alley somewhere. Reen and Ash began asking around about Miguel. The rumors they heard pointed to him being somewhere outside town with a new shipment of goods. Eventually, they tracked him down. Whoa. Alright, this should be enough. Raquel's punks ain't gonna use more than this. About time I move on. One last trip back to town should do it. Oh? And where are you planning on scuttling off to next? What the? Ash! And the Ashen Chevalier? How's it hanging, Miguel? Been a while since I went to clean my apartment and ended up bumping into your ugly mug. I hear you've been helping out Brad and the others. Hello, Miguel. I haven't seen you since our old field exercises. I hope you realize I'm not going to let you get away with anything that might put young people in danger. Now, we'd like you to tell us about whatever it is you brought here from Ortis. I don't know what Brad's been telling you, but you've got me all wrong. I seek out young people with potential and teach them the value of hard work. That's all. Shipping these things is just another aspect to that. Whoa! Everybody's got a Glock! A gun? So this is your new product, huh? It's an RF model. I'm guessing there are more in the container. And that's right. I've got contacts in the military who have helped me build up a decent stash. Little by little. I mean, no one knows for sure what's gonna happen in the world after this war starts, right? You gotta be prepared. Savvy folks from all over the continent are already putting together hidden weapon caches. The way I see it, I can make a fortune supplying them with the kind of high-quality arms they'll be needing. That's really low. What, so you're a war profiteer now? That's a pretty drastic change from when you only dealt in information. Not to mention how fast you got these weapons together all on your own. I figure that wouldn't be possible without the right connections and know-how. What aren't you telling us? Now that you mention it, something does seem off. It's simple, really. I wasn't always an informant. Until a little more than 10 years ago, I was a merchant, working a different kind of market. Some of these secret supply routes I learned about back then are coming in handy now. That's all. Now, I'm done talking. You gonna let me through? Or what? Can't keep my customers waiting. Whoa! What is it, Ash? Hey, don't go making any sudden moves. Look, Miguel, I don't give a rat's ass where you go next. Oh, he's about to tell him, but just don't ever come back to Raquel. But there's one thing I gotta ask you first. Thought we were done here. Was it you? Were you the one who got me out of Hummel? Hey, where's this coming from? His mom didn't mention it. Ash, do you mean... Yeah, I've been thinking about it ever since we found my mom's diary. 14 years ago, a merchant helped me escape from Hummel and into Raquel. But what you said just now, that you were a merchant more than 10 years ago? Well, things just clicked. Now I see. How long have we known each other, Miguel? From my first days in Raquel when I got adopted. Since I can remember, basically. You were involved with all of that, weren't you? I mean, you weren't exactly a good influence. You even sold me out to the Jaegers that one time. I always thought you were one of the most deadbeat pieces of crap around. But you still showed up at Mom's funeral and made a donation. It just felt so out of place for a small-time crook like you. I figured you must have had some ulterior motive. But looking at it now, I can't help but wonder if you felt some kind of obligation toward me. If I've got it wrong, go ahead and set me straight. When did you get so sharp, kid? I wanted to take this to the grave, but I guess my secret's out. It's true then. Every word. 14 years ago, I was peddling my wares out by Parm. If I hadn't stepped out for a smoke that night, I might never have met you. Ooh, a flashback? This time we actually are getting one. Ooh, god dang. That's not supposed to happen. Fix that up. Set that right there. Alright. Whoa, take it easy, kid. What are you doing out on the road by yourself? Was that a gunshot? The hell's going on? This can't be good. Come on, kid. Let's get you out of here. I grabbed you and put you on the first train I could find. But you wouldn't say a damn word to me even after we got to Raquel. Didn't know what to make of that. I thought maybe you'd been mixed up in some bad business. And then the soldiers came for me. I don't know how they found out, but they knew I'd helped you get away. Forget about everything that happened that night and ditch the kid. You'll be helping secure the future of the Empire. It's in your best interest to comply. We can pay whatever you want. Not a bad deal, huh? A deal, huh? Sounds more like a threat. That must have been part of the cover-up of Hommel that Osborne spearheaded. I hate to sound heartless, but I was eager for any excuse to get rid of you. So I took their mirror and gave you to one of the hostesses of my favorite club. I knew she wouldn't put you on the street. She was quite the woman, taking in a kid she knew next to nothing about and raising you as her own. You're telling me. So you see, I didn't really do anything that bad. I got you away from Hommel in one piece and even set you up with a new family. Was it so much for me to collect a little compensation in return? Yeah, that's all there is to it. I cut my ties to you and got on with my life. Our past doesn't mean shit to me. Right now, you're nothing but some punk who's standing in the way of me and my business. So damn it, why can't I pull the trigger? You're a traitor, a criminal. You shot the Emperor, for crying out loud. No one's gonna miss you. I took the damn money. I washed my hands of you. You're nothing to me. Nothing! So, why can't I? So that's it. Guess that explains the sudden shift in your business model. I know you're not gonna admit it, but when you took that deal, it messed you up on the inside. You knew it was wrong, and you've been carrying that guilt with you ever since. That's what let the curse worm its way into your heart and turn you into a real crook. Ah. The hell are you talking about? Don't act like you know me! If I'm wrong, then why do you look like you're in so much pain? It's written all over your face, moron. You've been running from your sins all this time, but you just can't let them go. Ash. To be honest, I really don't give a shit how far you fall. But there's something you should know. Right up until she passed, Mom was still smiling. She said it was a blessing having me in her life. Go figure, right? She also told me she wished she could thank the guy who brought us together. And I feel the same. I wouldn't be here right now if it weren't for you. And I wouldn't change a thing about the time I had with my mom. Well, it might have been nice if she'd been a better cook, but you can't win them all. As far as I'm concerned, my hometown isn't Hommel. It's Raquel, the town you brought me to. One of these days, I'll find a way to pay you back for everything you've done for me. I don't regret joining the academy or trying to find out about my past. That was my own choice. Because of that, I got to meet Kurt, Philly, Bunny, Phony Locks. They're not a bad bunch. Hell, even some of the instructors are okay, I guess. Huh. So I figure I gotta at least say thank you. Not just for me, but for Mom too. The curse, it's... For a kid who wouldn't talk at first, you sure grew up to have quite a mouth on you. Look at me, getting all sentimental. I feel like such a chump. But hey, all this only goes as far as you getting me off the streets. Huh? Leading Brad astray and selling me out during the field exercises? Now that's a different story. I think you've got a little debt to be paid, you feel me? Got him! That ought to straighten this shit out. Man, that felt good. You're enjoying this a little too much. I hope this did you some good, Ash. I'm sure it was very healing for him. Though now freed from the curse, Miguel and Brad still have plenty of crimes to answer for. After turning them over to the authorities, Reen summoned Valimar to return him and Ash to the Courageous Two. You had me worried there for a minute. I'm glad it all worked out. Trust me, I was just as surprised to find out Miguel's the guy I owe my life to. At least now I feel like I can let the past go. Well, that's good. I'm happy for you. Right, enough sappy shit. Let's get back to the others. Fair enough, Ash. Fair enough. Who the heck is Phony Locks, though? Philly and Bunny are obviously Yuna and Altina. We've heard him use those terms before, but Phony Locks is a new one. Might be talking about Tita, but her hair is actually naturally blonde. Feels like I can let the past go now. Time to focus on what's in front of me. Next up is Crossbell. Third rivalry's waiting. Can't slack off yet. I'm relying on you, Ash. And then, next up, we've got Toval. Go ahead and see what she's up to, what she's thinking about. Oh, are you performing weapon maintenance, Toval? Naturally, my lord is waiting at the shrine after all. Inez and Anea as well, surely. But no one asked you to babysit me, Schwarzer. Focus on taking care of yourself first. Now that I think about it, the shop should be done polishing what I left there. Her armor? Is she gonna don it again? But the time to use it hasn't come yet. For now, I need to focus on what's directly in front of me. Looks like Toval left something pretty important at the shop. If you're not opposed to it, do you want to go get that back now, Toval? What? It's fine. It's nothing that needs to be taken care of immediately anyway. But it's important to you, right? If leaving it for later will bother you, then it's probably better to take care of it before we face off against the Steel Maiden. You're as nosy as ever, Schwarzer. But you're probably right in this instance. Okay, I'll take you up on the offer then. This one time! It's gotta be her armor, right? Can't think of anything else. Afterward, they visited the workshop in Orders to pick up the important object that Toval had entrusted to Strauss. Yep. This is... your armor and even your helmet too. You had some work done on them? Yes, there were some minor scuffs that were starting to stand out. I had heard talk of a skilled artisan working here in Ordis, so I decided to take a chance and asked for them to mend it. This isn't the usual sort of work I'd have expected to do when I first began operating here. But your request was so earnest it gave me more than enough inspiration to take the job and give it my full attention. Much appreciated. Such a beautiful shine. This level of technical ability is exactly what I'd expect from an artisan favored by the Dukes. With this, I'm one step closer to fulfilling my oath. Toval. No idea what that's about, but... if I may offer my thoughts, you don't appear fully prepared to me. Oh, what's off? What's missing? Huh? Decades of working as a glass artisan comes with its perks. I can tell when someone's heart is clouded, shall we say. I've polished up your helmet and armor back to their original luster. Now you have to make sure that your spirit matches. Oh. I see. Thank you for your services. So her heart's not fully in it? Perhaps I've gone and run my mouth. Don't worry about it. Thank you again. Reen spoke to Toval, who was standing stock still outside the workshop. He invited her to the harbor district, suggesting they make use of their time in Ordis to go look at the sea. So, how you feeling, Toval? Oh, this is picturesque. Have you been waiting long, Toval? Toval. Is that her headpiece? Oh! Ah! That's cold! What do you think you're doing? And what is that? Sorry, it's gelato. I found a great place for it last time I was here on field exercises. Want some? It really hits the spot on a hot day like this. Honestly, I can't believe you! We've got an important battle coming up. Can't you be a little more serious? This is just how I am. I think it's fine for you to just be yourself too. Be myself? To tell the truth, I've always been a little envious of you. Even when you were with the Society, there was something very earnest about you. And even now that you're with us, your swordsmanship is just as confident as it's ever been. I can't help but admire that. I feel like ever since I was a kid, all I've ever done is doubt myself. I can see why Aryan Road would make you the leader of the Stahlritter. Schwarzer. Don't worry, you'll get through to her, I'm sure of it. You've already seen through to her true intentions, right? To finally be free of living forever? Perhaps. Then all that's left is for us to give it our all. I hope I'll get to see you in your armor again sometime soon. What? Blast it all, why did you have to ruin the mood? I think I'm starting to see things more clearly now, though. Maybe the real reason I chose to ally with him is... You okay, Toval? I'm fine. It's none of your business. Come on, let's finish the gelato before it melts and get back. Loitering around aimlessly like this is unbecoming of one who is known as the Swift. Sure, let's get going. Aw, Reen's looks like it's coffee flavored and hers looks like it's mint flavored. Both excellent choices. Reen and Toval enjoyed the view of the ocean and the delicious gelato for a little longer. They headed back to the Courageous 2 afterward, ready to face whatever lay ahead. Nice. So that's pretty good. And then that leaves us with just one more. I feel far less stressed now. I intend to demonstrate my abilities to my lord. Of course, I'll still need to rely on your assistance. Thank you in advance. Of course. And lastly, but not leastly, is the wild filly herself, who is right here. Okay, I've tightened the strings and replaced the grip too. Those balls won't know what thwacked them. Yuna? Isn't it one of the tennis club's rackets? Yeah, Ada and the others swiped it from the academy for me. Even though they're in hiding, they took the time to send it over. I was thinking that maybe we could put up a net in the training hall and hold some practice matches, you know? Working up a sweat might help us get our heads together before we leave for Crossbell. I see. I'm proud of you for taking the initiative like this. And here I was thinking she'd be a nervous wreck. Yuna versus Inner Saboteur, score 15 love. You know, you should stop by and check it out if you have a sec, instructor. It really helped me strengthen my resolve, let's say. Okay. I don't really know what that means, but if Yuna finds it helpful... Yuna, if we're going to face off, then shouldn't we go somewhere a little nicer than a training hall? You know, I bet the security at the branch campus is pretty lax right now. Oh. It probably is, isn't it? Alright, let's do that. Prepare for a beatdown. We'll see how good Yuna's skills really are, even though I guess Reen is not really all that much of a tennis player. But let's see what we can see. Reen got in touch with Jessica and Louise and headed to Leaves. While his friends were collecting intel, he received permission to practice drills at the branch campus. Ha! 40 love. No more. I can't move. All right, let's keep it up. Dang, she's killing him. Game set. Yuna wins. Great work, Yuna. Ha! Not bad if I say so myself. That was a good match. Yuna is up by 2. Jessica is up by 1. And Luis is down by 2. Alright, wow, Luis is getting clobbered. I wanted to get at least 1 win. Just what I expected, Yuna. You didn't give away a thing. I've tried picturing this in my mind a bunch. You two didn't make it easy for me, though. I think it's important to do your best, even if you can't win. Do you have any regrets? This was enough for us, but Yuna might want to play more matches. We'll join the others. You two stay here and enjoy yourselves. Both of you? Thanks, guys. Instructor, can you play one last match with me? Me? I've read the rules, but I'm a total beginner. Oh, I'm sure you'll pick it up. With your physical abilities and that intuition, I think we're pretty evenly matched. But, if I win, can I ask a favor? Sure. But if we're doing this, I'm not going to hold back. Go ahead and give me everything you've got. Right. Go ahead and see what Reen is made of. Reen and Yuna started their practice match. They both threw everything they had into it. The ball went back and forth as the match went on until the victor won with one final smash shot. Take this! Whoa. I did it! I did it! Yuna. You got me good. Good work. Sorry, I got a little carried away. But I really wanted to ask you to do something for me. I want to tell you something and I don't want you to say anything until I finished. Of course, I can do that.
I like you, Instructor. I didn't even realize it at first. But I think I've felt this way for a while now. Ever since that day in Crossbell. The day you saved me.
Yuna. Hey, I said you couldn't talk until I'm done, remember? You're my instructor, and I'm your student, so I definitely don't expect you to answer right away. But can you at least just think about what I've said? Alright. What else can I say when you're asking so earnestly? My position, the world, the curse I bear? There's so much I have to think about if I'm to know how to respond to her feelings. Very open-ended. After meeting up with the other members of the team, Reen and Yuna returned to the Courageous 2. Yeah, we're definitely already maxed out with her. Oh, Yuna's tennis wear. Awesome. Instructor Reen. I'm not sure how to react given the situation. What I said to you earlier still stands. But what we should be thinking about right now is the next rivalry. I'm glad I'll have you with me in that battle, Yuna. I'll have to mull over what you said and come up with a response eventually. Alright, but for right now, that is everybody. And so next, Eid Vanis. Alright, Kai and Tilly are having trouble with an ornery monster. Alright, so let's hit up Ulster and then see what's... Well, actually, I've got to reload the save and then go to Ulster to get those bonding points back. This is so crazy! Is the monster really that ridiculous? Yeah, the mayor said that we just need to be patient, but I don't know about that. It looks like these two are getting ready for something. Kai and Tilia, right? It's been a while. Oh, hey! I heard that Toval is safe too. It's made us so happy that we've been thanking Adios every day. That's great. It sucks that we have to keep it a secret though. I don't like secrets. By the way, isn't that request while you're here? Yeah, exactly. Toval's just as busy as you'd imagine, so he passed it on to us. The others here told me a bit about you two. Ulster's done so much for my brother. I'd very much like to repay that debt, even if it's just a little. Okay, that's very sweet. Wow, she's so beautiful. I wonder if she's friends with Class 7. What exactly did the town do for your brother? Oh, does she not know? It's a rather long story. We'll tell you some other time. Please watch what you say here. Sorry. I just got too caught up in things. She really does look familiar. I might just be overthinking things, though. I think Kai's starting to pick up on things, guys. Anyway, would you mind if we asked you a few questions? Toval mentioned the town was having problems with some kind of monster. Can you tell us anything about it? Yes, that's right. Recently, it started showing up in your town almost every night. Obviously, no one wanted it around, but we all made do. There was some damage to equipment and plants, but it kept getting worse. Things took a real turn yesterday. It was the first time that people ended up injured. Oh my. I suppose that's not the sort of thing one can simply wait out, is it? No, it's not. The really creepy part is that we don't even know what it looks like. The town asked this hunter to help us get rid of it. He's pretty famous around here. It's so scary. The monster appears out of nowhere and then it just disappears, just as fast. It's like we're in a horror story. It really does feel that way. We actually had some soldiers come by too, but given the situation, they've held off on any operations. Why does that not surprise me? It seems they've been neglecting their duties just like during the Civil War. And there was that airship incident already. All the adults were talking about it this morning. They all agreed that we can't afford any more damage done. The mayor suggested that we all move to the mining town, Aragon. What? Meaning, Ulster's going to be abandoned temporarily. So that's what you two are preparing for. But if that happens... I'm sorry, everyone. I know this is shocking news. But you guys have already saved Ulster once. If anyone can find out the truth about this monster, it's you. So, if you have the time, would you mind looking into it for us? We'd really appreciate it! I just can't stand the thought of parting with our home. It's full of memories with Mom and Dad. During the Civil War, those Jaegers left Ulster in shambles. Is there any way that we can help out? Well... we have a lot of memories in this town, too. We may have only today to investigate, but we'll do whatever we can. Really? That's great! We can't thank you enough. Oh, there's no need. We're happy to help. For Oliver's sake, too, since he can't act publicly right now. Right. Ready to go monster hunting? Yeah. We don't have a whole lot of clues yet, though. Let's start by asking around town. If we find anything out, we'll come back and fill you in.
Got it! Good luck!
Let us know if we can help. We'll do anything we can. Alright, so we have to chat with the people of Ulster. See what they're thinking, doing, feeling, and moving. We'll start at the chapel because it's the closest. Probably going to end up talking to Father whoever. Yeah, Father Nogaro. When the townspeople are forced to evacuate because of monsters, it's not like the church isn't affected. I'd like to speak directly with the Father here and get his take on things. Reen asked for details about the mysterious monster. So that's where your curiosity lies. It's a rather horrid subject, I'm afraid. Many of the local men have been conscripted, and the townspeople have been forced to evacuate due to this threat. There is some logic behind what the mayor says, however. The safety of the townspeople is paramount. The evacuation will take place today. I've also contacted the chapel in the mining town, Aragon, to make arrangements.
I see. Even though everything is so sudden, it seems that things are being handled much more quickly than I'd expected.
Actually, it seems that many of the residences in Aragon are empty due to the conscription. Also, the mayor's been urging the townspeople to move to Aragon. He says it's for the good of the Empire.
Really?
That's why I've been in communication with the Father there for quite some time now. Though I never imagined it would end up being fairly convenient in this sort of situation. I see. Thank you again for your time, Father. So we've got his info, and then the Sunny Spot Inn is next. Go ahead and chat with them. Sandy's parentals.
Now there are some familiar faces. Welcome.
Are you perhaps here about the monster? Yes, exactly. Would you mind if we asked you some questions? Reen asked for details about the mysterious monster.
Oh, I hate even talking about it. It devastated our fields and destroyed the irrigation waterways. It shows up just about every night now, and when it does, it causes serious damage to the town.
Crap. Let's do a little bit of this action, and then have that set for right there. Oh, no auto. Want to turn that off. Crap. Okay, I don't know why it seems my stand so rarely cooperates with me. Strangest thing I've ever seen. I've been hunting for 50 years now, and even my countless attempts at tracking it have all been in vain. It's the same story every time. We're in hot pursuit, and the trail just vanishes, completely up in smoke. It's infuriating. The only thing I can think of to explain it is that the damn thing has wings. When we lose the trail, it must mean it's flown off.
So that's why they call it the mysterious monster.
Turning a blind eye here isn't an option. The people of Ulster can't handle this problem alone. Yeah, I completely agree. I can see why Kai and Tilia reached out to Toval about it. But this is enough. But is this enough to warrant an evacuation? Thank you for your time. There's no doubt in my mind that what you've shared with us will be useful. Please, you're too kind. I wish I could offer more than information. I'm a disgrace. Regardless, winged or not, it's big and dangerous. Please watch yourselves out there.
Take a quick rest here before you leave. The cuisine is wonderful, I might add. Thank you so much. Your kindness is much appreciated.
Do they have something new? No, they do not. Alright. So who is up next? Who should we chat with to find out more? I think there's 2 more places. No, there's 3. Okay. First, let's head to the blasted out Lenheim residence.
See what we can find out right here. Oh, what's up with you? Boy, who'd have thought something like this would happen in Ulster? Maybe this is the guy who was attacked and injured by the monster. Excuse me, do you have a minute? Reen asked for details about the mysterious monster. I see. You are investigating the incidents. It happened last night, just as the sun was setting. I realized that I had forgotten to close one of the fences. When I went back to the field alone, I was suddenly attacked from behind. It was pitch black, so I couldn't make it out very well, but it looked like a giant cat monster. A giant cat monster? Sounds like it could be really vicious. It sounds like he was very lucky just to have been able to escape. How are your injuries? Are you going to be okay? Yes, you don't need to worry about me. I was able to fend it off with my hoe. I do have some injuries on my hands and feet, but it's not enough to prevent me from walking. That's good to hear. It must have been a terrifying experience. Do you remember anything else? It doesn't matter how minor. We're interested in any and all details. I don't really... Wait, is this blonde girl? No, must be my mind playing tricks on me. More importantly, there was this strange noise just before I was attacked. It was a high-pitched noise, almost like a whistle, so someone was sicking it on people? Did you say a whistle? I see. That's really helpful. I hope it helps your investigation. I really hope you can do something about these monster attacks. Of course, we'll do our best. And there's two people who are also just hanging out around outside, whom we can speak with. First is whoever's right here. Who are you? Mayor Matham. Hey, what are you doing? This must be the mayor of Ulster. It seems that he's been affected by the Great Twilight. Let's at least try to speak with him. Reen asked for details about the mysterious monster. Prancing around pretending to be bracers, are you? I suggest you drop the act. If this is because of the monster, the wonderful soldiers who are dedicated to the Imperial family have asked around already. Are you talking about the Imperial Defense Force? What are they doing here? So you're at least aware of their name, I see. They've already taken down observations. They'll perform an official inquiry in the near future. However, with war almost upon us, we can't expect our needs to be a priority. That is why I've made the decision to evacuate the whole town to the mining area. Aragon is short on manpower. Helping with the mining effort is also helping with the war effort. He's still thinking about war even when the town's in this state. I don't think we'll be able to rely on him. That's a shame, but we have to ask around elsewhere. Alright, so let's go ahead, get that done. And now you are last. That person is from the distillery. Let's go and ask her. Reen asked for details about the mysterious monster. Oh yes, that monster. It's a strange story, alright. Some of the fields I look after have been destroyed. I was so looking forward to the harvest. I see. Did you get a look at the culprit? No, I didn't. It seems to only come out at night. But I do sometimes catch sight of this weird person, so there is someone giving it commands. A weird person, you say? Yes, a man. I don't recognize him from around town. A man with a whistle and a giant cat. He spent all day looking around the town and loitering near the fields. Didn't even give Steinrose a glimpse. He hasn't been around lately, but his behavior is weird for a tourist, don't you think? I don't know. We should remember this for later. Yeah, it might prove important later. We don't know of anyone like that. Okay, let's wrap this up. First of all, let's summarize what we learned. There are many puzzling aspects to this case. Yes, the monster doesn't seem to be the only problem. I suggest we talk it over at Kai and Tilia's house.
Good thinking. I'd like to hear what they make of it too. It's decided then. Let's go. So we can just immediately go right back there. Reen and the others returned to share what they had learned with Kai and Tilia. The group then began discussing what to do next. We're gonna catch whoever this person is out, of course. First things first, let's lay out what we know. We gathered a lot of information, but let's focus on the monster first. Several things we learned caught my attention, but when we put those stories together, what's strange is that there are no eyewitnesses. There doesn't seem to be anyone who's seen it clearly, but that could be explained by the fact that it only comes out at night. Well, already effed it up. So given what we learned, I'd say monsters attacking people isn't particularly weird. Isn't it a bit too convenient that it showed up now of all times? I agree. You have to wonder what drew it here all of a sudden. That hunter mentioned that he lost it midway through the chase each time he went after it. It almost seems set up, doesn't it? To be honest, Tilia and I kinda suspected that too. It just doesn't seem like a coincidence. And Ox said it was like a big cat monster or something, right? I was surprised to hear that. Why did you find that surprising? Well, it just wasn't what I was expecting, I guess. The crops that were ravaged were grapes, right? Oh, I see. It does seem out of place for a carnivorous monster to be drawn to crops, grapes even less so. And why would it destroy the irrigation waterways like that? It almost seems like it's trying to harass the town. So why is its behavior so abnormal? That's the million-mirror question. We must consider the possibility that it's being controlled by people. There must be someone controlling it. What? Controlling monsters? Is that even possible if you're a witch? Yeah, actually. There are certain monsters that have been specifically trained to respond to sound. They're known as military monsters. You'll often see Jaegers using them. Things just appear to be getting worse and worse. Someone mentioned seeing a strange man loitering on the outskirts of town. Do you think there's a connection? Oh, I've seen him too. He doesn't look like a soldier or a Jaeger, but he definitely seems like he's an Ulster for a reason. As of right now, though, we can't know if he's related or not. Still, considering what we've seen and heard, we can't rule out some sort of conspiracy at play here. A conspiracy? I know it might sound absurd, but I think it's worth exploring what the reasons behind such a plot would be. If someone were in fact controlling the monster, what would be their motive? Well, we have to start by thinking about potential objectives. To obtain Steinrose if they're stealing grapes. But there was damage done to the grapes as well. It doesn't really add up. Oh, I'm way wrong. What makes more sense to me is something else? The only conclusion I think is that there's something that we don't yet understand. You're probably right, Elise. It's true. We didn't walk away with anything conclusive at all. But there was one person who seemed to know the truth behind what's going on. Matham? Someone who knows the truth? Who could it be? I think the Imperial Defense Force members have already talked to him, right? I really can't see anything that specifically points to the Imperial Defense Force. So it'd have to be... It could be Mayor Matham. Are you saying that the mayor is intentionally intimidating the residents to try getting us to move? I don't know about that. There must be some mistake. It's not something I want to believe either. But people were saying that the mayor's been pushing the move to Aragon for quite some time now, even before this monster issue. We can't deny that things seem to be falling in his favor. Well, when you put it like that, it does seem oddly convenient.
It's a terrible thing to consider, but it does make some sense. You know what I mean, right, Tilia? One day he just started acting so strange. But he's the mayor. He's always been such a nice person. When we lost Mom and Dad, he really looked out for us. It's just so hard to imagine. Tilia, I wonder what the truth is. The Great Twilight has proven itself to have an incredibly far reach. It's not out of the question. I just don't know. On the one hand, the mayor controlling the monster is definitely a possibility. But it looks like we don't have all the facts yet. Oh! Is this Toval? Please excuse me a moment. Who's calling me? Oh, aren't you Machias' co-worker? Please excuse the sudden interruption. Machias told me that you're in Ulster dealing with a certain incident. This is a rather awkward request to make, but I was actually wondering if you could maybe leave this issue be for me. We're definitely not going to do that. Leave it be? Do you mean... Is there something going on in Ulster? Something that warrants the Government Accountability Inspectorate taking action? Well, I'll just leave that up to your imagination. It looks like you have your reasons, Reiner. But the residents are terrified. They're already preparing to evacuate by the end of the day. We can't turn a blind eye to this. What? Things have already reached that point? Everything's moving way too fast. I do have an idea, but we're going to need your help. We've got to bring this to an end. Alright then. Machias has told me a lot about you guys. I've thought about this for a while now, but you're probably people worth trusting. I'll share what we've gathered. Make sure you use it well. Inspector Reiner shared some interesting information with Reen and the others. Combining all the individual pieces helped them get a clearer picture of the situation. However, it also unearthed something suspicious unfolding in Ulster, something worthy of the word conspiracy. The idea that this sort of thing could occur in Ulster is hard to fully wrap my mind around. Are they gonna hommel Ulster? Reiner did put some potential operations together, but they're not going to make it in time, just like we thought. If anyone's going to do something, it'll have to be us. Besides, I don't think this is entirely unrelated to those of us from Thor's. It certainly does seem that way. We can't turn our backs on these poor people. I would like nothing more than to play a role in this operation. I suppose the ship has already left the harbor. If you need my help, I'll be here. Tilia and I want to help too. I think we can convince the people who live here to go along with our plan. I couldn't imagine anyone better suited for that. Things could get a little rough out there. Princess Ulfin, Elise, your safety is the highest priority. I don't know what's going through your mind, but if it results in anything but us coming along, then you can forget it. Yes, that's right. We're helping, and that's that. You wouldn't let us come this far only to stay out of it, would you? Well, I guess I should have known they wouldn't back down after hearing all that. With all of us along for the ride, this'll be a walk in the park. Just be as careful as possible and stay with the group no matter what. Yep, you got it. We understand. Let's make sure we're ready before we head out. It's time, everyone. Right, got it, yeah. So are we gonna have to take down Mayor Matham's pet? Head to the sanctuary. What do they mean by that? Head to the sanctuary? I'm so nervous, but I've got to do my best for everyone's sake. Tilia and I are ready to go when you are. Should we get started? Though I think checking our equipment one more time would be a good move. Yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I called in some more help just to be safe, but the odds of them getting here in time are about 50-50, so they'll show up in the nick of time just when we need them. We'll just have to proceed as if we're handling this entirely on our own. We have to uncover whatever is going on in Ulster, no matter what. My brother's waiting up on the ship. This is for his sake, too. So, let's see what's going on. A short while later, after Reen and the others had left, people are now leaving Ulster behind. It won't come to that. Oh, wow. The residents started to assemble one by one. The time had come for them to evacuate to Aragon as the mayor had ordered. Even those residents who had opposed the evacuation made their preparations to leave. With a sad farewell, they left their homes behind. Finally. It took longer than I thought it would. They're all so stubborn. It was always going to be tough. Oh, Ulster. You are no bustling metropolis, but by Adios, you are a beautiful town. And how proud I am that Prince Olivert himself spent some of his childhood here. Which is why merely cooperating with conscription is simply not enough. I want our town to make a true contribution to this nation. My good mayor, it would appear we can finally get started. Is this a Campanella? Kleist. Oh my Adios, dude. And this friggin' guy. Hey there, Wads. Sorry it took so damn long. You wouldn't believe how stubborn all these townsfolk are. It's clear now that getting everyone away from the town first was the only way for this little reforming scheme of yours to go smoothly. Ha! I owe you a great deal of gratitude. Speed is crucial in business. Admittedly, I had to use a somewhat unconventional approach. I wouldn't concern yourself with that. It all counts as expenses. It is unfortunate that the town had to sustain some minor damage, but it's all for the greater good, I'm sure. I'm still impressed with the scale of it all, though. What was it again? A giant logistics center? From the plan drawn up, I gathered it was like an improved version of the logistics storehouse that Kleist & Co. has in the capital. And didn't you mention that by building it in our suburbs, we'd be able to develop into Erebonia's next big commercial area? He's totally taking this dude for a ride. The Empire is expanding, and there is an urgent demand to establish a logistics network, particularly for Jirai and Northumbria. The economic benefit we would gain from an Ulster logistics center would be unprecedented. Would you be so kind as to grant permission to open a factory that manufactures military items other than weapons? Ha! Of course! I presume such a factory will employ locals? Nope. It's for the country and also for the benefit of Ulster. It's a perfect plan. They tried to pull this same thing in Armorica. I had a hunch this was what was happening. What are you still doing here? Well, I do believe I've seen your faces before. You were in the same class as Hugo, if I'm not mistaken. You just keep popping up where you're not welcome. You really like sticking your neck out. Kleist & Co. sales manager, Wads, and Mayor Matham. Are you aware that this plan of yours is illegal? I can't believe that you used monsters for your own purposes and drove away the residents! This is fraud and intimidation on a wide scale. You've essentially hijacked a town! We can't let this kind of cruelty slide. But there's still time. Please, stop this! What does it matter to outsiders like you, We're only thinking of the country and Ulster! How dare you be so impudent! Wads, get these people out of my town! Is he gonna sick his monster on us? Cleaning this riffraff up shouldn't be a problem. After all, I've already arranged to sweep away the town. What are a few extra pieces of trash? Sweep away the town? What? Ha! Time is short, and we have to begin. Let the great plan begin! Sponsored, of course, by Kleist & Co. Yup.
And he's got archaisms. No! Archaisms? Dang, they're busting the place all the way up. Yeah, he barely can do anything. Reiner saw the signs that Kleist has been doing some shady deals with the Ouroboros. But they're not just using military monsters. They're using archaisms too, and there are so many of them. What is all this about? You got taken for a ride. What? What are these machines doing here? They're going to destroy the town! Stop them! What are you talking about? This is what we agreed. This is a necessary measure we must take in order to build the factory. Wait, the factory was supposed to be built on the outskirts of town! I had the area surveyed, and the mountains were going to make development difficult. The locality of the town was perfect, however. It is the most efficient site. This is for the nation. Surely you won't start objecting now of all times. No, but this is... Oh. Ha! You've tricked me! I would have never agreed to this! Ha! Well, have a nice day, everyone. Things are going to be a little messy here for a while, so I think I'll take my leave. We can definitely get rid of all of them. He's running for it. We have to do something about this first. The group split up to take on the monsters and archaisms. Stop! Stop it now! Damn you! Leave our town alone! Yeah? Look out! Are you okay? It's dangerous here. Please stand back. Your Highness, Elise! It's not safe to be this close to the battle! No, I intend to fight. Allow me to help. This is the reality of the Great Twilight and the government's schemes. If I don't do whatever I can to save this nation, then I'm not fit to be part of the Imperial family. Your Highness. We can do something about the monsters and the archaisms. So leave this to us. You need to catch up to Wads. For all of Ulster. Got it. Thank you. Elise, protect Her Highness. If it gets too dangerous, both of you just run. Got it? Don't worry about us. Be careful, everyone. I just hope my emergency plan makes it in time. So we called in that backup, but who's it gonna be? Who indeed is it gonna be? Earlier, not long now, the lodge should be just up ahead. Alma, Ak, are you doing alright? Yes, thank you. Don't worry about me, I can still walk a little longer. How about we take a short break while we're here? There's no need to hurry. We can take our time. Yeah, I guess you're right. Anyway, Kai, when are you and Tilia going to tell us what this is all about? I was surprised to hear you of all people tell us we should leave the town early. Oh, right. About that. Actually, Rena and them were the ones who came up with this whole plan. Oh, really? You mean those kids who saved the town before? I'll tell you more once we get to the lodge. Well, alright. You must have your reasons for keeping quiet. In any case, the lodge is just a little bit further. I'll take care of any monsters we run into in the meantime, so follow me. Of course. Thank you very much. Come on, Lot. Don't dawdle. Right. Huh? It's not here. The sheep plushie Daddy gave me. No, I must have accidentally left it behind somewhere. The Great Twilight is influencing his, decision making. Well, Hopefully Wads doesn't try to run that dude over. Wads is probably going to take him out. Well now, I'm going to be... Oh, huh? An orbital bike? Is that... Oh, check it out! Ah! So Herman is pulling the same move we pulled on him. It's you! What are you doing here, Herman? Mr. Wads. Uh-oh! Isn't it about time you went straight? You've been ignoring orders from the main office for a while now. On top of that, I hear you've been making illicit deals all over the Empire. How long did you think you could keep this up? So what happened to that promise of yours? You swore you wouldn't trample over others for business's sake, but here we are. I never would have found my calling if it weren't for you. I'm just here to make up for all you did for me. And I've decided I'm going to pay you back by stopping you from making this huge mistake. It's over now, Wads. We know this isn't your first offense, but it'll be the last time you try to scam someone like this. The Inspectorate should have already contacted you. They'd like to bring you in for questioning about your recent dealings with the government. Ah, meddling kids. Why don't you all just stop wasting my time? I know I've had my setbacks, but this plan is foolproof. I've won over the mayor, avoided the main office, laid the groundwork with the government, and even called in favors from the IDF. Do you have any idea how long I've waited for all this to come together? Pretty soon, the Ulster Distribution Center is going to dominate the whole of the Northwestern region. Just think about it. If I pull this off, it'll be the biggest score of my entire career! The profits I bring in could finally even surpass Hugo Kleist's. That's what this was all about? If only you'd gone about it differently, that passion could have led you to great things. You've been with Kleist & Co. for a long time, ever since it was first founded, right? Were you hoping Hugo would hand over the Kleist orders to you? This is my fault, Mr. Wads. If I'd only paid more attention, I could have stopped you before it came to this. But if words won't work, I'll have to get through to you some other way. Don't you dare try to stop me! It's all about to come together. Just a little more. It'll be perfect. Perfect, I tell you! What the... What was that? Oh! What's a child doing here? He's gonna take him hostage? Looks like the heavens have sent me a little gift. Damn it! Wow! Huh? Now, everyone. Better mind your manners. Just keep quiet and cooperate, and this will all go smoothly. Mr. Wads! Let him go! Now! Now let me be clear. I'm not going to budge even one reach away from my plan. All I need is a little more time, and the proper equipment, and I'll be able to leave Ulster to the ground, or level Ulster to the ground. Not to mention I still have one last ace up my sleeve. So it's time to fight. Alright now, time to take out the trash! Gaspar Garros? Ouroboros archaisms. Now you've really gone too far! That's enough! Stop this right now, Mr. Wads! The Great Twilight has gotten to him. That settles it. We have to finish this ourselves. First, we'll take these things down. Everybody ready? Yeah. Leave it to us! Rescue the hostage and restrain Wads!
This one's strong. Be careful!
I don't think we fought Gaspar Garros this whole time, rather. Alright, so we've got 2.
Ha!
Phalanx J9, level 129. A mid-sized archaism equipped with 2 cannons. Its high mobility lets it cover a wide area. It's weak to water, fire, and space.
I'll treat you. I can manage
Awesome.
without your help.
Unforgivable.
And that fury is right on time.
I'm up.
Next up, you.
Yeah.
Gaspar Giraud, level 130, an autonomous archaism with extendable arms and exceptional firepower. It can handle enemies in a wide range. It's weak to water, fire, and mirage, or space rather.
My turn.
Okay, but I'm just gonna handle these from here. And that's
Nice
the end
work.
of that. No new levels, which is fine. I actually wasn't expecting to get anything new there, but Alright, Wads, you have been foiled, sir. We're way too strong for that. No! You destroyed them already? This is ridiculous! But you're weak from that fight. I'll just use the other one and... Not so fast. Oh! What? You took it out in one blow? Whoa. Alright, it's time, you two! Perfect timing, Kai. Now just leave the rest to us. You didn't have a friggin' chance. Lot, quick, get with us! Tilia. Looks like the tables have turned. Whew. Things were getting pretty dicey there, but I guess we made it in just the nick of time. We're from the Bracer Guild. Can anyone bring us up to speed? I'm only sorry we couldn't get here sooner. Not at all. Everything worked out perfectly. Toval delegated this to us and ended up having to help anyway. Oh, I completely missed what Reen said. Thank goodness. You were worried sick when you disappeared, Lot. It all happened so fast. I'm sorry I ran off, Tilia. Kai. You pitched in pretty well with the rescue yourselves. I think the credit goes to Estelle and the others for charging in right when things took a turn for the worst. I'm just relieved things turned out the way they did. Bracers, you've got to be kidding me. Wanted criminals, guild dogs, where is it going to end? Are you going to make an enemy of Kleist & Co? Of the government? You still haven't given up? Tough nut to crack, huh? I don't think you fully understand the position you're in. What? According to Toval, the main office of Kleist & Co has denied all responsibility for the things you've done. You've been suspended from duty several times, and you're on your last warning now. That info technically isn't meant to leave the company, but push really came to shove. I heard about it from Reiner. Your unethical fixation on success is in direct opposition to the main office's wishes. Doesn't it seem a bit uncouth of you to invoke Kleist & Co, Mr. Three-Piece Suit, considering their feelings toward you and all? Yeah, they are not gonna back you up, bro. Throwing it around like that could land you in some trouble. I couldn't agree more. Here comes Hugo. You have no right to utter that name, Wads. The same goes for your so-called connections with the government. They've got themselves an airship now. Ah, he's finally here. And there's the last helper we called in. That ship! Sir! Oh, Becky's with them? Why? Hey there, everyone! Sorry it took us so long. Finding Hugo and bringing him here took a wee bit longer than expected. Well, Mr. Managing Director, seems like things here have taken a real spiral. Any plans on how to handle it? Oh, I'll put an end to this all right. It's my duty after all. Wait, what are you... Sir, I apologize for how this must look.
These ruffians have thrown a wrench into the works, but it's only a temporary setback, I assure you. Wads, let's cut to the chase. What exactly are you doing here? Sir? Do you have any idea of the trouble you're in? As if scamming people out of their homes wasn't bad enough, you even took a child hostage. I've told you time and time again that I won't accept such unconscionable methods of business, yet you continue to disregard my orders. Sir, I don't understand. Who cares about the past? Don't you see what's at stake here? I found a more efficient way to boost our profits. Why should anything else matter? That's what doing business is all about, right? You'll never make it in this industry if you let yourself worry over matters of petty morality. Come on, Wads. It's like speaking to a brick wall with you. The curse has taken root deep inside him. It must have honed in on his fixation with profit and drove him out of control. Or maybe it's more his obsession with surpassing you that's gotten him this far out of line. Surpassing me? Why should that matter so much? You still don't understand? I've been with Kleist since the very beginning. I've watched it grow from a tiny company into the nationwide juggernaut it is today. I really don't care about Wads' sob story, but whatever. Do you have any idea what it's like for me, seeing you take over and call me incompetent? Third rate? If I can raise our profits more than you, then perhaps, finally, you'll recognize me for the businessman I truly am. Oh yeah, that ship has long sailed, dude. You're out of control. Hugo always views things so logically, but a situation like this really requires an emotional touch. Wads, you've been a loyal employee of my company for many years. In just the past month, your efforts have raised our profit margin by 10%. I'll admit the results you've achieved have been impressive. But your criminal activity, rejection of our trading policies, and utter refusal to follow orders are not something I can overlook. Effective immediately, I'm relieving you of your position as sales manager and placing you on indefinite suspension. What? Is that really a surprise? No, it can't be. After all I've done. It's precisely after everything you've done, dude. Everyone, I'm truly sorry for the trouble Wads has caused. I take full responsibility. I should have paid more attention to what was going on in my company. I promise I'll compensate anyone who was affected by my employees' unlawful activities. Now, Herman. Yes, sir? Attend to Wads. It looks like he's taken a few bumps. See to it that he gets some medical treatment. Yes, sir, of course. Well, I must be on my way. Hold up, Hugo. One more question before you go. What are you planning on doing for here on out? The Wads problem may be settled, but what about the future? You knew what the government was planning, but you still got into bed with them. I know that wasn't purely a business decision, but all of this that's happened here, that's where it got you. You claim you're gonna take responsibility, but what does that mean? You stepping down as managing director? I told you already, didn't I? I'm going to settle things. The fires of war will engulf this continent before too long. I've known that for 2 years now. That's why I allied myself with the government, to give Kleist its best chance of surviving. But I see now that I made the wrong judgment. It's only natural that I should resign. Hugo. Gee, or geez, none of that pish. What do you think that's gonna accomplish? Someone like Wads will probably just end up in his position. What? She's got a point, Hugo. You know we're trying to put an end to the Great Twilight, right? Your government connections could make you a valuable ally to that cause. What do you say? For old time's sake? I don't know. The way I see it, the important thing here is an obligation. It's what you truly want to make happen. Not that it's any of my business. I'm not from Erebonia myself, so I don't know what all this must be like for you. But all of us have gotten this far by following our own convictions, by doing what we believe is right. Same probably goes for Reen in Class 7, so why should it be any different for you? Estelle. Yeah, that's a pretty good way of summing up why we're all here. We wouldn't have trudged all the way to West Arabonia if we didn't believe in what we were doing. In the end, the decision is yours to make. Try to be honest with yourself and see how things go from there. What do I really want? For crying out loud, you know what you want. You just cannot admit it because of that stubborn pride of yours. You know there's a way both Thors and Kleist can come out of this still standing. So wrap your wings in and snap to it. If you go wrong again, I'll be here to set you right. Becky. Me go wrong? You'd better not expect I'd make any sort of mistake like that twice. And I'll move forward from here my way. I'll ensure the future of the company and Thors without so much as relying on the government. Well said. If anyone can do all that, it's you. Wow. This little adventure sure escalated quickly. All the same, it's good to have you back on our side, Hugo. I'm sure the others will be glad to hear it too. We should have back and spread the news to the courageous, don't you think, guys? Yeah. Huh? Well, I'm certainly glad that's over. You could say that again. My heart's still beating crazy fast. We still have a few things we need to clear up, but at least the worst is behind us. And it's all thanks to them. Those Thors kids still got it in them, don't they? Okay. Shortly afterward, the 3rd Armored Division arrived to take control of the scene. And then, will we expand our things that we can purchase? Probably not. We just have Hugo back on our side. Also sustained considerable damage, however, it was swiftly restored with the compensation from Kleist & Co. The residents rejoiced as they returned to the town. And others were reunited with old friends, and Mayor Matham was swiftly deposed. What? What's wrong? Oh, his plush. Oh. Good guy Hugo found it. Certainly, not everything was resolved that day. Really? They're just leaving him? But at least this was the end of the incident that engulfed Ulster. I don't know if he deserves that, but... You're all going now, aren't you? We can't stay any longer. Yeah, I figured. I want to thank you guys again for everything you did. Right, you've got my thanks too. I knew asking you guys to look into this was the right call. Well, it wasn't just us. We had a lot of help on this one. Right, we had some assistance in clearing out the remaining archaisms too. We only clobbered a few of them. You two pretty much had things handled on your own. It's thanks to all your guys' hard work that Ulster was saved. You were first on the scene and you busted that conspiracy wide open. Yeah, if you hadn't gotten here when you did, it might have been too late. Aw, thank you for saying so. But I think if I hear any more praise, I'll turn red from head to toe. Honestly though, I'm sure my father and brother will be able to breathe a sigh of relief now. I don't doubt it. If you have the chance, please tell your father that I hope for his swift recovery. Thank you. I'll let him know. What are they talking about? I think I may have an idea. That'll be our little secret, okay? Things are gonna get way tougher from here. We're all gonna stay on our toes. For now, us bracers are gonna keep on bracing. Hope you guys can keep up. Of course. Come back anytime. And just be careful out there.
Things might be a bit tough for the town. Things might be a bit tough for the town for a bit. If there's anything we can do to help, just let us know. We'll come back to see you again. Stay safe. AP increased by 1. Yeah, we have to redo that because we got so many of those questions wrong. But, oh, Reiner finally got here. I jumped into my car as soon as I heard about this, but I still didn't make it in time. But it looks like you guys all handled everything just fine without me, at least. Thankfully, yes. It's good to see you again, Inspector Reiner. We had a little trouble along the way, but we managed to throw a wrench into their plans. To think that the government and the IDF were colluding to take over Ulster, and that they nearly succeeded. It's probably something that could only have happened because of the state the world's in. But this is exactly the sort of thing the Government Accountability Inspectorate exists to stop. Thanks for the help, guys. We should be the ones thanking you. If we hadn't gotten word from you when we did, Waz would have probably gotten away scot-free. I'm glad to hear that. It really makes my job feel worthwhile. So long as we don't give up, we can expose any corruption in the government. I'll keep at it and make Erebonia a better place to live for everyone. Alright, and with that, we're gonna have to reload the save. So definitely join me then for more of The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 4. Bye for now, guys.